News. I'm Tasha Stevens. Hard left squad member Ilhan Omar defeats her more moderate Democratic opponent, Don Samuels, in Minnesota's primary Tuesday. Omar received 56.2% of the vote, Samuels 42.9%. Missouri voters will determine whether abortion will be permitted in the state in November.
Missouri voters will decide in November whether to guarantee a right to abortion with a constitutional amendment that would reverse the state's near total ban on the procedure. The Secretary of State's office has certified that an initiative petition received more than enough signatures from registered voters to qualify for the general election. It will need approval from a majority of voters to become enshrined in the state constitution. The Show Me State will join at least a half dozen other states voting on abortion rights during the
It is America. Which of these is America?
Thousands of pounds of meth at a farmer's market.
Special agent in charge, Robert Murphy with the Drug Enforcement Administration, says they found 23,000 pounds of meth hidden in celery at a Georgia's farmer's market.
Why is this?
Contained within a cover load of celery. That was hiding it. Obviously, we threw away the celery, so there's no concerns with buying celery at the grocery store.
A semi-trailer coming across the Mexican
That's
border
wrong,
raised
people.
suspicion. Agents then zeroed in on the Atlanta State Farmers Market in Forest Park, where a Mexican citizen was arrested. The DEA says it's one of the largest seizures of its kind. Sound courtesy WSB. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Good morning, everybody. Get ready to get started.
Expected to steer clear of the East Coast. The National Hurricane Center says Ernesto will head northward into the Atlantic. This is SRN News. Christian leaders are calling India out.
Persecution of Christians
Body, California.
is getting worse, and 300 American clergy and ministry leaders have sent a letter to the State Department urging that it designate India as a country of particular concern. The signatories represent a wide range of denominations and organizations, including
We're going to get it on here someday.
persecution spiked with the election of Hindu nationalist lawmakers a decade ago. Michael Harry, SRN News.
Bulgaria's parliament has adopted an amendment that bans discussions of homosexuality and non-traditional sexual choices in the country's public schools. Despite political differences in the Bulgarian parliament, nearly 70% of lawmakers voted in favor of that amendment. Similar pro-family countries in the region, including Hungary, Bosnia, Moldova, and Turkey. This is SRN News.
Good morning, everybody. We're trying to get everything up and going.
The warning applies to more than 374,004 Lincoln and Mercury vehicles from 2004 through 2014 model years, and 83,000 Mazdas from 03 through 2015. The inflators can explode with too much force in a crash, shooting fragments that can severely injure or kill people. All were recalled previously, but repairs have not been completed. The government says the inflators are to blame for 27 fatalities.
All right, let's start the poll. Fun poll this morning. Good morning, Christopher. How you doing, my brother? I hope you're doing very, very well.
Shop directly from the social media apps. Users will be able to link the social media account to their Amazon account in one sync. You can buy items directly from Amazon using the apps. More details at SRN News.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brother.
Now that I have kids, fixing the air conditioner, faithfully HomeAdvisor helps me find the home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Okay, so Domino's Perfect Combo includes 2 medium wasabi pizzas, 16 Parmesan bread bites, a cinnamon twist, and a 2-liter of Coke. Today we're on the street asking real people how much they think it all costs. All of it. $44 or $45? $34.99. The 2 pizzas are probably 10 each.
75?
What if I told you that this Domino's Perfect Combo is only $19.99? Shut the front door. It's Domino's Perfect Combo and it's all just $19.99.
Looking for the right bank? Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. We're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Southern States Bank, your community, your bank. So
Home Addiction Recovery Support Center. We exist to provide recovery support services to individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforce.org.
Good morning, brother. Oh, how are you doing? Yes, I'm doing good. I'm doing well, my friend. How are you doing, Christopher?
Fish dinners open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken, right next door to the former location. Bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Keep your home safe with home scan inspections. Our licensed and accredited professionals know exactly what to look for in order to prevent safety hazards and costly effects that may be found in your home. Ask about our free roof and
Oh, God, no. Had COVID 2 weeks just getting my strength back. And wow, I'm glad you're doing all right. I hate to hear that. That COVID hadn't stopped since 2020. And we just, wow. I'm glad you're getting your strength back, my friend. Whew.
New patient special, including X-rays and exam. Maybe you're looking for veneers. Most valuable smiles veneer special includes one free veneer with every 5 purchased. Or get that bright white smile you've always wanted by taking advantage of an exclusive $100 off Zoom whitening treatment when you book today. And don't forget that 2022 is almost over.
You're very welcome, brother. We'll continue to pray for you. In Jesus' name, we'll pray over Christopher this morning and continue to get well and continue to move forward as he should. In Jesus' name, amen. Oh.
706-623-0318 or visit mostvaluablesmiles.com.
Hello, this is Bill Dance. It's 277 today. Are we headed for a credit crisis in office buildings? It's very interesting to know that we have somewhere between 80 and $208 billion of rent that will have to go out to have office buildings reminded each year. That's a huge amount of money because they were financed at very, very low rates, near zero, and now they'll have to pay very high rates. Yet we have to keep in mind that the banks have to keep their balance sheets very sound and enjoy that.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
You got that right. 10 minutes past the hour, 73 degrees here in this morning in the radio studio. It's the Active Pest Control radio studio, and yours truly, the RyanORadio Penitentiary in lockdown with you. We've got a great guest coming up. Histories and Mysteries, Sally Tul join us in the final period. Plus, we've got a lot of strange and unusual news and other stuff to get to. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only, Ryan O'Neal, of course, and I'm the game, all right. 78,000 plus of you worldwide tell me that every morning on the Shoutcast Out Loud. We're across the RyanORadio media page. Earth Rock Radio, 20 radio stations, real and internet on the Navajo Nation. We thank them for tuning in every single day. We're across the British Columbia, Isles of Canada, and finally, right here behind me at 99.1 FM WQEE the Key, there's a sign that you can see if you're tuned in to the YouTube page. We're all over that, home for inspirational talk and Southern sports. We're on the YouTube as well as Facebook and everywhere you streaming. I mean, just everywhere. That's because that's what we do here at 99.1 FM and the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You guys are in lockdown. We're going to jump right into a big hello to my listener takeover in a few moments. But first, to the haters out there, we got this to say to them. That's right. I'm the man around here, whether they like it or not. And so are all of my listeners, the best of the best. Good morning, Martin, up at early. Now, I don't know where everybody else is because Martin's up early with me in Washington State. So if he's up this early, the rest of you better be getting out of your beds and get to where you need to be getting to and tuning in. Christopher, God bless you and thank you for being with us this morning, my friend. We're glad you are back. Also, Agent 34. What's up, Agent 34? Dun, 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 dun. Agent 34 on with us this morning. Everybody just beginning to come on this weird Wednesday. Got to tell you, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about a few things. I got promoted. I got to change my account. Ooh, you may not even be able to be on anywhere 34 if you do that. Got to tell you this, coming up this morning in some strange, unusual news, we're going to talk about East London's Blackwell tunnel. Also, archaeologists supposedly discovered the lost temple where Jesus performed some miracles in the city. We'll get into that. And ladies and gentlemen, Disney's Magic Kingdom's added more attractions and rides. We'll get you a little things that's going on in Pennsylvania with an escaped alligator on the loose, gator on the loose in Pennsylvania. And we'll get into some sports news. We'll talk about Boston Red Sox player apologizing for his remark, homophobic slur. We'll talk about that and how that came about. Also, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of things we're going to dive into this morning. That's I'm going to drop in for football action. It's getting outrageous out there in some of the football, high school football. We got more details coming out of Hoover, Alabama about the two coaches that stepped aside, and families of two of the players are even more upset for the treatment. And we'll tell you how much more of a scandal this has became in the last couple of days, as well as Newton High School Football, a volunteer coach over there in Newton, Georgia, attacked a Milton football player during a scrimmage game where he accidentally stepped on the coach. I guess it got into his face. You know, adults don't like it when kids get in their face, but you don't hit somebody else's kid. You call up their parent and you tell them how to hit their own kid or do whatever they got to do. Just the way it is. We'll talk about that. That's two things. And Newton Police Department warning against fake passports and fraud in the area. One homeless man was a part of this situation. I guess somebody paid him to go in and do that, to do some checking cash fraud, and it's a bigger operation. We'll keep you abreast of that big operation coming to the metro Atlanta area of Noonan. Man, you guys be on the lookout for that. Noonan Police Department in there, and U.S. Army soldier and an intelligence agent and with top secret clearance pleaded guilty on Tuesday, guys. We'll tell you about this person. Also, officials and a couple other newsworthy notes that we're going to drop in there for you to read for yourself. I'm not going to get into every single thing, but we've got it on the Facebook page for you to read as well. You know, I expect you guys to read for yourself and to come up with some ideas and for us to talk about them, because that's what we do here at WQEE and the RyanORadio Penitentiary, is discuss and get things out there. Our poll question this morning, since we are traveling the state with our travel expert, our tour guide, our Family Feud champion, Histories and Mysteries, that won the only Sally Tul in the final period. Well, which of these is America's coolest ghost town to visit? And that's ghost town, everybody knows, is a town that's been abandoned for a number of years. That's still up in existence, but there's not really anything there. I've been through some of them, and then some of these actually have been revamped as tourist attractions. And I think the four that I put in there are mainly tourist attractions. What's up, Brandon on the go? Oh, stroganoff. It's not strong enough. Stroganoff. Brandon on the go says, never make your password beef stew because it's not stroganoff. Stroganoff. I like that. He could have put strong enough in there too, whichever one would have worked. Way to go, Brandon on the go. Brandon comes in, he pops in his joke, and he takes off. We appreciate you, Brandon. We do, my brother, young man. Whoever you are, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, you making our day, Brandon on the go. Thank you very much, my brother. All right, which of these is America's coolest ghost town to visit? Body, California, 50% of the vote so far. Calico, I visited there. Have a great day from Texas. Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate you. You have a great day in Texas as well. And please stay cool. I know it's going to get warm there, brother. Calico, I visited there. The wife and I visited there many years ago during a special Easter weekend. They let everybody in for free. So we got in for free, which was good. We got to go around the town, and they have food. They have the old store. The only thing that was closed was the school/church. You could look in there and see things. They had reenactments and everything. Calico. It's got 0 right now, but I enjoyed that. 43 in Body. Ruby, Arizona. For those that don't know what Ruby, Arizona is, they got 29% of the votes. And in Ruby, ladies and gentlemen, it's a minor town, gold in the 1870s. And of course, it closed in the 1940s. Many of the buildings, schoolyards, school and playgrounds, and more are still there. 71 miles northeast of Tulsa as well. Now, Calico is 126 miles northeast of Los Angeles, and it was struck gold in 1887. Actually, wasn't gold. It was more other stuff, silver strike in 1887. The mines are still there. Historic town, an old church and school, as well as you can camp near it and everything. That's Calico. Body's 45 miles from Yosemite National Park. Once 10,000 people lived there during the gold rush, but now it's gone. Everything is left, including no gas pumps, old trucks, and more. Officially a ghost town there. So, and finally, the one White Oaks, now 25% in Ruby, 25% for White Oaks, New Mexico. Let me go ahead and tell you about White Oaks, New Mexico. Yep, here we go. I got it wrote down. It is it was built on a gold mining town, founded back just right off of a mountain, and Billy the Kid made many trips into White Oaks, New Mexico. It's a place he visited many a times. It's about 155 miles northwest of Albuquerque. So there you go. And that's some of your choices right there. Body. Yeah, Body. That's right. I'm sorry. Body. That's right. It is Body. Body. New Mexico. Bodai. Bodai. Let me see. I thought they say Body, but I'm not sure either. You probably know more about it than I do there, Martin. You're on that side of the country. But some of them that I've heard, they said it was Body. So, Bodai. Is that Boodie, like die, Bodai? I just want to make sure that I'm saying it right. Either way, I hope I'm not saying it right. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize to everybody. I do. I really do, brother. I've heard it a couple of different ways too. So, but anyway, there you go. Those are a couple of great places, ghost towns. I have been through Calico myself, and I like that one. Probably was a long ago. Buddha. I have to try to. I'll try to figure it out during the break. But anyway, I apologize to anybody who lives near there if I mispronounced the area, because sometimes people mispronounce Noonan. They call it New Man, so I understand. 21 minutes past the hour, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of headline news, but these are some cool places I looked up yesterday. I was like, why not do the visit of these ghost towns? And I have been to, like I said, Calico is a wonderful little place. They do the reenactments. You can actually set up not too far from there with camping, and then there's a little grocery store up there that you can get food in and everything, as well as hot foods and stuff. Like a little, I would say convenience store, but it was more than a convenience store right up from it. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool, Calico and everything. And I will always remember. I got video on my personal page from years ago when we went there on Easter. I'm about to put that up again. So I've always wanted to visit White Oaks, New Mexico, because of Billy the Kid. I always thought Billy the Kid was kind of one of those guys that he wasn't really what they said he was, but people are not gonna believe me. But then again, I'm one of those guys that when I see people on the Facebook go, hey, the left and the right are from the both ends of the spectrum, and they take money from everybody. I'm kind of like, oh, those are the ones y'all call crazy. I kind of like go, they've been saying the same thing for 20 or 30 years. I don't really. Anyway, that's me. So I'm a weirdo. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. Headline news this morning for you. Colorado election clerk convicted of voting machine security breach case. Check that out for yourself. Also, officials identify a helicopter pilot who crashed into an Australian hotel. UAW has a complaint against Elon Musk for threatening the union workers during his X event. And they found giants in the catacombs. That's right, in New Mexico. That's right. We talked about that last Wednesday with my good friend, Randy Rocket Cody. A U.S. Army soldier and an intelligence agent with top secret clearance. Now, is this a U Agent 61? Is this you, Agent 61? I'm just kidding. Clearance pleaded guilty Tuesday to selling American military secrets to China, including fighter jet manuals, documents on missiles, and lessons learned from the Russian invasion of Ukraine in connection with the threat to Taiwan from China's capital city. This man's name is Corbin Schultz. Of course, it's Schultz. From Fort Campbell, Tennessee, faced decades of federal jail time after pleading guilty of 6 counts of indictment for being involved in a conspiracy to use his position to gain access to the U.S. national defense information that he sold to a co-conspirator who he's seen suspected to be linked to the Chinese government. He was also accused of trying to recruit other members of the U.S. military to join the conspiracy. You guys have already been saying that, so saying people were doing that anyway. So that's what I was going to ask 61 Laugh Out Loud Ryan. There you go. But we didn't know the guy's name, but now we know the guy's name, Schultz. I know nothing. For those of you who know what I mean. Oh, man. So there you go. We'll keep you abreast of a complete rundown of that news stories on the WQEE page. People have been saying there's people there selling for years. And, hey, there you go. I'm an SR supervisor agent now. All right, good deal. I know nothing about what you're talking about. I'm sure you know about this Schultz guy. He looks like a typical American, right? All white guy. I guess he thought, I'm going to move to where was it? Tennessee? Yeah, I'm going to move to Tennessee and they're going to think I'm Southern. Yeah. Not with a name like that, boy. Not with a name like Schultz. We know you're not from the South. What's up, Alex? How you doing this morning, brother? Good morning, Ryan, Navajo Nation, everyone else. Sweetly says good morning to you. Pete, how you doing? Oh, there. Miami. Alex is in Miami. He's out there partying. Alex is just now coming in from a party, everybody, because Miami parties 24/7. So he's just walking in. I'm doing good. How about you, brother? He's just walking in going, all right, time to get a little breakfast and get a little V8 and go to sleep for a couple of hours and then party the rest of the time. I'm picking with you, Alex. I knew it. Said he's in his penthouse. I knew it. What's up, Bigger? What's up, brother? How you doing? We appreciate you joining us on the feed this morning as well. Like, subscribe, and share, everybody. Get it out there to everybody. We usually have way more than this on right now. I guess it's just beginning. Had an accident last night. I broke a toe. What? You shouldn't have been chasing H.D. Reese around the house and doing those freaky things, Pete. I mean, yeah. I could not guess how much your penthouse is, Alex. Probably a lot more than I make in 5 years or 6 years. But I'm proud for you, brother. Believe me, I'm proud for you. I'm not one of those haters out there. I'm one of those people who 2 million. Wow. Can I borrow a couple of million from you? I'm just kidding. You can afford $2 million. Can I borrow a couple of million? I'm just kidding. You're very welcome, brother. I'm proud for you. I really am. I am. I don't know about everybody else in the world, but I'm not that. I'm the kind of person that cares that everybody has for everybody and what they get. Bigger, he says, I still haven't had that Arby's hamburger. Yeah, but you got to get it. You got to get it for sure. No, Alice, I tell you what, for me to get money for you, I'd have to say, what job do you have available for me, brother? That's the kind of person I am, so don't worry about it. Or are you like, I like your radio show enough, Ryan? Let's invest in it and put it on a bigger platform. Now that I would appreciate. I wouldn't just take your money just to take your money. You're like, whoa, you're one of those people? You would work for it? Yes, sir. Which of these are America's coolest ghost towns to visit? Couple of different ways to pronounce it. I've heard it called Body. California, 38%. Calico, my place I went to, 15% of the votes. Ruby, Arizona, 31% of the votes. And White Oak, New Mexico, 15% of the votes. Broke one of the little toes. Wow, Pete, I hate to hear that. Well, that's right, Alex. I definitely work for what I'm not the type just to take it. And if you gave me the donation, I have to spread it amongst everybody. Okay, I'll take a business and I'll work for it. Believe me. I'll make you way money. I'll make you way more money, brother. I'll do what I'm told. All right, Bigham says, I think your YouTube stream of the radio show is an odd place to mention your condo value. Speaks volume about his personality. Hey, well, I was the one that started picking with him at first, saying he was from Miami and saying, hey, he just came in from partying. So that was kind of my fault. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. And Bingham said, not hating, just a weird place to mention. Oh, I don't make a lot, Alex. Are you asking me? No, I don't make a lot, brother. Really, you got 10 homes. Any of those homes for rent? Seriously, I'd be the best tenant you ever had, bro. Help me out with help push the show, and I'll be one of the best tenants you ever had. Guys, I do know people. Actually, I do know a guy that I used to work for many years ago that owned several broadcast radio stations and other businesses. And I was the only person when he bought our company out. We were the only people that did not live in homes that he had. That's the truth. That's the truth right there. Still to come, we're going to talk about the Hoover High School scandal as it continues in Hoover, Alabama. And we'll get over at another coach is in trouble in Georgia. High school football. What's going on? Ben Landon said, what a most beautiful state. What's the most beautiful state for Canada to visit? Every state is. Thank you, Alex, for subbing. I appreciate that. Like, subscribe, and subscribe to the page. And if you do want to give a little donation, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, guys. If you want to give a little donation, $RyanShelander, put it in there for me, somebody, Pete or somebody, $RyanShelander in my Cash App. That's RyanShelander. If you guys do want to help out. Ben, I say any state's beautiful. Georgia, we love to have you here. But if you go to Tennessee, the mountains are beautiful. Parts of New York are pretty good. You go to California, all these places right here, these visited right here, brother, that I got on here, coolest ghost towns, that's a great place to do it. Back in a moment. Stay tuned. More RyanORadio Penitentiary after this. Easy as can be. You can go to my Cash App, and you can go to my Cash App, Alex, and it's RyanShelander. Florida is beautiful. The beaches are great there, Ben. Ron moved to Florida. He and his wife did. They visit. He spends the summers in Canada. Rod Peterson for the Rod Peterson Show. But yeah, Alex, $RyanShelander. And that's for anybody on there if you want to donate to the show. Good morning, evening, night, afternoon, my loveliness. Good. Hey, little Z from England, how you doing, little sister? We hope you're doing good today.
That's your active weather forecast. Brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or meat things at all. 34 Jefferson Street in Noonan. Active Pest Control.
You don't want winters in Arizona. They're still warm there. Parts of Nevada's all right. Parts of California are okay. Flagstaff, Arizona's pretty good. That's what some feel, Ben. I am doing good. I'm doing very, very well for it's Wednesday, for a Wednesday. I was trying to remember what day it was. Thank you, little Z. Tombstone, that's right, Martin. That's a cool place. I've been through there. That is cool. Cottonwood's a pretty decent place to live. Flagstaff, actually small but good. And then out there where Captain Hot Buns lives, on the edge of the border into Nevada and everything, it's hot, but it's a nice place.
We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost.
Your supervisor forgot your name, Pete. Tell him you're Pete. You're the man.
Have you been considering a career in real estate? At Keller Williams Realty Atlanta Partners, we prepare you to excel in your real estate career by providing award-winning training, value-based culture, and integration tools to build a business that lasts. If you're interested in learning about our pre-licensed school or how to get started, call 678-634-9770 or visit our website at AtlantaPartnersRealEstateSchool.com today.
I wish sometimes back in the past when I was working, my supervisor would have alluded for somebody like that. My supervisor would have forgot my name. But you know what? I sometimes forget people's names in the company. All right. I gave the information out. All right, Alex, send it over. I'm waiting for it. I'm looking at it right now. See if you send it over. Just kidding. People here know me by my nickname. Oh, okay. Big Pete. Is that what they know you as? Pete, Big Pete.
Their selection of health boosting options. Stay cool, stay refreshed, stay healthy with Water Tree in New.
They're going to start arguing if I call a CIA agent here. Who's going to start arguing? I know that's not your nickname, Big. I know that's not. I know what your nickname is. I'm just not giving it away. What you did. I wasn't going to give it away on the air. Hello. Here we go.
WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
Yes, you're listening to that, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If I don't see you again, a very, very, very fantastic good night. We welcome you back in on this weird Wednesday edition. We're going to talk about a couple of unique things from the Magic Kingdom, adding some unique rides and more to East London. I know you probably heard about this one. This place you probably heard about there, little Z. East London's Blackwell tunnel. We'll talk about that, Blackwell Tunnel. And archaeologists unearthed the lost tomb where Jesus performed miracles, ladies and gentlemen. And an alligator on the loose in Pennsylvania. All that's coming up for you. Good morning, Crispies. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing good this morning over in, I know you probably know about that Blackwell Wheel Tunnel as well. Roman, guys, get into the feed there and vote. Which of these is America's coolest ghost town? Florida, California, 28% of the votes. Calico, California, 11% of the votes. Ruby, Arizona, Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. There used to be a Kitty Rogers song that 22% of the votes. And White Oak, New Mexico, 39% of those votes. I guess everybody wants to go visit where Billy the Kid used to go hang out. I do too. White Oaks, New Mexico. That sounds cool. They don't put up with stuff there in New Mexico either. That's what I like about it. All right, I'll go over in a few minutes some other stuff. I'm good, boss. What's the score with Ruby, Arizona? You want to know what it is? Let me go ahead and tell you about it. These are all ghost towns that used to be mining towns. And like Calico is a tourist attraction now. Ruby, Arizona is a mining town, gold in the late 1870s. And of course, it closed down in the 1940s. There's buildings there, schools, playgrounds, and it's 71 miles northwest of Tulsa, Arizona. That's Ruby, Arizona there for you. And of course, White Oak is 155 miles northwest of there in New Mexico to Albuquerque. And Billy the Kid was known to go there. So that's just some of the things. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the wonderful things. So there you go. Vote who you vote. These are ghost towns, which means it doesn't mean they're haunted. It just means that nobody really lives there anymore. I like to take an old ghost town and turn it into a town. Martin, I picked Ruby, Arizona. That is a pretty cool one. They're all pretty cool. I've been to Calico. It's probably the coolest one to me. So I like to go check out a couple other ones. But I'd like to take one of these ghost towns that are not in existence, build it back up, and start your own community in there. Of course, you still have to have internet. Because I couldn't go without internet. Come on. Or I could put a radio station there. Yeah. Not have internet. But you still have to have internet to stream, right? Yeah, that's what we need to do, guys. Go start our own. Get one of these. White Oak Creek here has gold in it too. There's gold in them there mountains. I like to go to one of them ghost towns. Yeah, like to start my own town over. I wouldn't name it after me. My wife would want to, but I'd name it after whatever the ghost town was. And so we're just going to revamp this ghost town. Put in some businesses, put in a shop here or there, and do some things. One time I got into an argument on live stream with an AFP agent. It was pure chaos, says Agent 61. Please don't do that again. You guys can't do that. You can't be telling your secrets to us. All right, pour in that. There you go. AFP means Australian Federal Police. Oh, is that what that means? Why are you getting in with them? You guys have disagreement on how to handle a arrest of, Charles Manson people or something? Cult members? I don't know. I'm picking. All right. We told you, ladies and gentlemen, here's a couple of newsworthy notes as well. Here in Georgia, they're enticing new voting measures ahead of the general election coming up in November, with some inviting concerns about voter suppression in the state. The state election board, in a 3-2 vote last week, approved the new rules that will allow county election boards to delay certifying the results of the election to investigate any things that is disputed. Not a bad idea. I'd rather them do that than all the argument and the fuss and the fighting like they had last time. 159 counties, 159 county boards in Georgia. Texas is the only state with more counties. Texas got more everything. The board's decision says county election officials may hold a reasonable inquiry in their election results before finalizing their certification. So there you go. I'm going to read that in just a moment, Randy. Thank you very much. Also, Noonan Police Department are warning people in our area about fake passports and fraud. A homeless man went in and charged a checking cashing fraud as a small portion of a bigger operation that's going on around us. Wow. All right, our daily devotion at almost 15 minutes away from the top of the hour, brought to you by Noonan City Church. Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue here in the metro Atlanta area, Noonan. Transforming lives for Jesus' sake. All right, he's going to bring, Randy puts in John 1:12. Randy, you got to be here every day for him. But to all who believe and accept him, he gave them the right to become children of God. Amen and amen. God bless you. Thank you for bringing that on there, brother. All right. Before we dive into anything else and we're going to take another break here on the network. And you're tuned in to RyanORadio Penitentiary. We are about almost 15 minutes away from the top of the hour. 74 degrees, I believe that's what I said. 73 degrees here in the Noonan area, 75 in Atlanta, 76 in Auburn, Opelika in Alabama. High near 90-day, low near 70. Your time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Good morning to you, 12 in New York. Hope you're doing well there. Complete rundown of all your news is on our website as well, facebook.com, WQEE. Facebook, you can get all that. There's news you can read for yourself. We're not going to give it all. We got some of the headlines for you. We got a lot of other stuff to talk about this morning. And coming in the final period, our guest is on this weird Wednesday from Histories and Mysteries. Sally Tul will join us. And that's why we are traveling the country in our poll question this morning for the coolest ghost town around. Guys, get in there, like, subscribe, and share it to the page. Get everybody on. We're growing and growing on the YouTube, and we thank you. After about 5 months, it has grown to 1.6 to 1.7 to almost 2K views for something that just started. And I appreciate all you guys being a part of that. Back in a moment on the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Hopefully pretty soon, they'll start paying me off of YouTube.
Good luck. That's how some wireless companies are with your data. But TrackPhone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service. So you keep.
All right, let's see. Alex, you didn't send nothing, buddy. Are you still there, Alex?
See terms and conditions at trackphone.com. Ready to earn some sweet Southern rewards? Check out the Southern Rewards cashback account from Southern States Bank.
Fingers crossed. I got to check my work computer. Please do, but don't share anything with us because I don't want to get you in trouble. But I'd like to know some of the secrets so I could get them out there. I'd be the first to know them, Agent 61, and put it out on my platform and the radio station. Yeah, give me some secrets there, Agent 61. None of my people will tell on you. Well, somebody put in $RyanShelander for me so I can pin it to the top. Hey, Alex, welcome back, brother. Oh, Agent 61, dadgummit. I thought I was going to outsmart you and get you to do that, but no. I knew I would.
Hey, this is Pastor Terrell Scott, and I come on Sunday at 11 a.m. and Tuesday at 11 a.m. bringing the Word of God to bring transformation, hope, and deliverance to your life. God loves you, cares about you, and wants to instruct and guide you in His Word. So I compel you Sunday at 11 a.m. and Tuesday at 11 a.m. Tune in so your life can be radically changed forever because God's love and care.
Oh, they're always doing it. Martin said, I don't want to know nothing. No, nothing. $500. You want to send me $500 for real? I hadn't seen it in my Cash App. Somebody put my Cash App thing up there for him. $RyanShelander. 12, will you do that for me? Agent 61. Yeah, they're always watching. Martin's like, I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know nothing. I do. I want to know stuff. Make my show go to the top. But they'll come get me, right, Martin? That's all right. I'll have you guys protect me. Thank you, 12. Right there is how you can help a brother out. Alex, $ RyanShelander on Cash App. Thank you, brother. Good morning, Ryan and Navajo Nation. I'll tell them once I get back on the air. Daniel. All right, here we go. A couple more things to talk about.
Be sure to listen to the Sustainable Farm Girl radio show every Thursday at 10 a.m.
Are you looking for a reliable dental practice that not only
He thinks he is him. Who? You talking about Agent 61? Wow. Well, Agent 61, you can't give me a couple of things we could talk about that before the other media get it. There you go. That's what I'll take. Oh, there we go. My brother DJ Commando is out in Las Vegas now on a radio station. Congratulations to him. All right, good morning. Going out to our good friend Daniel. I haven't seen I saw him the other day. He was on. Daniel, how you doing this morning, brother? Alex is with us. Agent 61 is with us. Martin's with us. Little Z is with us. 12 is with us, of course, and everything. All right, if you want to help a brother out, $ RyanShelander. I got it pinned to the top on my YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. Before we get into the next hour, talking about some high school mishaps, and Pete is on with us as well. Fire, fire, fire. It's going to be a hot one today. My fan broke. Ooh. Before we get into anything else of what's coming up in the next hour, and we also want to thank Randy for coming on as well and giving us our daily devotion. We'll talk about some Hoover High School scandals continue and some other high school sport coaches attacking students. We'll tell you what happened with that in Georgia. All that's under there, and we'll give you some other headlines. From Texas, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against General Motors for allegedly collecting private data on Texas motorists illegally and turning it over to insurance companies. It's got a pretty good attorney general there in Texas. He's looking out for his people. In a lawsuit announced Tuesday, Paxton charged that General Motors has scooped up information on more than 1.5 million Texas drivers without their consent. And you don't do that to people in Texas. I'm telling you, stupid. That's why he's taking care of it. Anyway, without consent, after opening an investigation, he said that the auto giant in turn sold their information to third parties. You know how they sell these information from your phones to third parties that call in here and everything. So they're doing that. General Motors, according to Paxton, was able to use technology installed in the vehicles with the model year 20 to gather and collect detailed driving data on how drivers use their vehicle. Texas says GM used overboard tools like OnStar smart drivers to collect such information. Hey, where was my folks out there that are the same? Remember those folks I told you earlier that are out here saying that the left and the right side of both of the left side and the right side of the aisle are one and the same. These are the same ones gathering your information. Those poor people were called crazy for years, wasn't they? Look, you know Ryan didn't never say anything bad about you guys. Anyway, they said our investigation revealed that General Motors has engaged in that violate Texas privacy and broke the law. We will hold them accountable. Companies are using invasion technology to violate the rights of our citizens in unthinkable ways. Thank you to Paxton for doing that. I really, really thank him for doing that. You don't really get many people doing that, guys. Don't freeze up on the computer. Now the computer's going to freeze up on me. Hey, Agent 61, help me make sure that it doesn't freeze up, because I'm recording the show too. Come take care of my computer for me, buddy. I don't know why all of a sudden he wants to freeze up. That daggum wow internet. I told you I'll talk bad about them until they buy with me, and then I'll talk good about them like everybody else talks good about the people that pay them. Christopher, wait till their country asset. Oh, there you go. I don't know what is going on with this computer all of a sudden. You guys know? I think it's just an old computer, but my conspiracy theorists out there. Oh, my fact finders. I'm sorry. I don't like to put nobody down like other people do. Might tell me it might be having something to do with them. Now it's coming back up. Because I was reading a nice story about the guy from Texas. Come on. I was talking about the guy from the Attorney General in Texas and how he's defending the Texas going against General Motors for installing OnStar and other things to find out personal information and selling to third parties, which is illegal. All right. Wait till the country assets learn how much info their phones steal from them. Yes, you got that right. All these phones do steal. Why do you think people are calling your phones daily trying to sell you insurance or DirecTV? I had somebody from DirecTV yesterday call the radio station. Martin says, don't ever go to Ruby, Arizona. Oh, thank you for telling us. Don't talk bad about Apple, Google, or Microsoft. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. I don't think I was talking bad about them, was I? I was talking about OnStar, but they didn't like me talking about OnStar. They must have some kind of connection and money with them, Daniel. See, we can come up with our own conspiracy theories here, too. Don't mess with us. We can come up with our own, too. General Motors says it's aware of the Texas lawsuit over the data collection. We've been in discussions with the Attorney General's office and are reviewing the complaint, said a spokesman for the company. We share the desire to protect the consumer's privacy, but we like to sell it to that third-party Indian call center to call you every day and irritate you. Oh, my God. Just all bad about Bill Gates. Yeah, Martin, I don't know if I want to do that. He might come get me too. Ruby, Arizona was a nuclear test site in the 70s. That's why that is no longer, that's why it's a ghost town. Christoph? Is it Chris to offer? Chris to offer. That's what I like to split. Is Christian offer. I was saying it right. Sorry if I'm not my friend. I apologize to you 120%. He said, well, they're collecting agents, they're collection agencies. They have your information legal. I'm talking about how every Android phone is collecting the Google to get the same with iCloud. Oh, well, I'm not talking about the telemark. I'm talking about the telemarketers that call here. There's no collection agent. We're not in collection here at the radio station, so I don't know why they're calling here. Unless somebody gave him the wrong number. Somebody named Richard Walls gave him this number. And that's who they call, and they always call me Richard Walls. But I know what you're saying, brother. I agree with you on that, too. Another fact finder we got right here. Thank you for dropping in. And he's not wrong. He is not wrong at all. But, you know, I'm glad the Texas AG is suing GM for it. He's like, wait. This is not good. You're invading the privacy of the people here in Texas, and you know they're not going to take it too long. Oh, Lord. Well, I guess we're not going to Ruby, brother. But what if we want to play with the radioactive sand, Martin? Yeah. Daniel wants to become radioactive man. Dun, 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 radioactive man. Guys don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about which of these America's coolest ghost towns to visit. And Martin Delos says, no, don't go to Ruby. It's a nuclear. Now we know why it's a ghost town. That's 26% of the votes. Calico, which I visited, which is a tourist attraction in California, lovely place, reenactments there, 17% of the votes. Body, California, 21% of the votes. And White Oaks, New Mexico, where the late great Billy the Kid rode through many a times, 33% of the votes. All right, good morning, Red Beard. How you doing this morning, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Back in a moment.
This day in labor history, the year was 1988. That was the day 167 oil workers were killed.
Daniel said he don't have any hair on his head anyway, so it won't affect him. 91, it was.
Deadliest oil rig accident ever. Around 10 p.m.
Wow.
The platform essentially turned into a fireball so massive, rescue helicopters could not get near it. Gas lines ruptured when the night crew.
So Daniel, it wouldn't bother you. You could become radioactive man.
Immediately, the platform was rocked with explosions. First, wiping out the
Toxic Avenger. There you go. And Martin M. in Washington State said, I'm close to Hanford plutonium plant. What? Oh, Lordy. All right, 12. You want to know what they are? Basically, White Oaks, New Mexico, was built on a gold foundation of a mountain where they were, these are mining towns. And Billy the Kid went through there many a times. It's 155 miles northwest of Albuquerque. That's White Oaks. Ruby, Arizona, which we just learned from Martin D, is they had nuclear power plant there. It was a mining town gold from the late 1870s and closed in 1940. I guess now we know why. Buildings, schools, and playgrounds were there. And it's 71 miles northeast of Tulsa. Calico, one of my favorite places I visited in California, 126 miles northeast of Los Angeles, a Silver Strike town from 1881. It's historic landmarks, town, old church, school, town market, everything reenactments. You can camp there. Great place. And then Body, of course, is 45 miles from Yosemite National Park. Once they had 10,000 residents, gold mining rush. They still have everything there from gas pumps to old trucks and everything. It's an official ghost town. So there you go. Pepper, good morning to you. Somebody else came on. Amber, good morning. Morning, beautiful people. I like already. Reminder not needed. Yes, it is. You can say good morning. Oh, man. Whoa. Martin, wow. Well, I hope that don't do anything to the water there. Bottled water is what I'd be getting because I wouldn't want any water, drinking any of the water out of unless you got well water, but then I have to make sure that well water's all right with that plant being that close, Martin. That's all I worry about is the water and the nature. and the humans, of course. Toothy, good to see you, or Little Z, I like to say. Wow. Wow. So there you go, 12. I explained them kind of to you. That's why I wrote them down for people that didn't hear of them. Find some strange, unusual news to talk about. It's going to be fun this hour and leading into. All right, let's see here.
This comes just weeks after top executives at Paramount committed to cut $500 million from the company's budget. Paramount's agreed to merge with Hollywood heavyweight.
I guess I could add him.
NBC News Radio.
All right, there's that.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my
Let's get this out of here.
fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor helps me find the best home. Reviews the pros.
Good afternoon, Daniel, they say. Hartfield Nuclear Reserve. Hanford, I'm sorry, not Hartfield. Hanford Nuclear Reserve. What? Woo. I wouldn't trust anybody. I can tell you that around there with that kind of stuff. I can see some of the things I can understand.
Is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location. Bring it.
Good deal.
Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton.
We're going to have to look into those power plants. You know what, guys? I found out yesterday. Well, I'm so glad we're on YouTube mostly. I found out yesterday, you know, our brother, the Patriot, wouldn't be able to have said the idea. He gave me the idea of the guns and God and guts for me to do kind of I got an idea to do a documentary now. Dude, we wouldn't be able to say guns on Facebook anymore. And all the nasty stuff in the world on Facebook and X and Twitter and everything. And you can't say guns.
3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
I was like, what? At least I can say them on YouTube. Because that didn't get demonetized yesterday when we talked about it for what, like 30 minutes or something, Martin, with a Patriot or something, I think. Can't believe that. Thank goodness YouTube is, even though they're restricting some cussing, at least you can still say guns and God.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Yes, we can, Cos. Oh, I'm awesome. All right. And so are you. 78,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout Out Loud across the RyanORadio media page. Earth Rock Radio, 20 radio stations, internet and real out there on the Navajo Nation, Arizona, New Mexico. And we are also across, ladies and gentlemen, keep saying it, Martin. We're also across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, 99.1 FM WQEE, the only free place to be is in radio and streaming. That's right. With WQEE, your home of inspirational talk and Southern sports. Hey, we might not drop F-bombs, which is very, very uneducated anyway, but we can say guns on our show and not get demonetized for it. Is your phone, Pete? It's against it. Good morning, Captain Hot Buns. All right, I got to talk about that here in just a few moments. I was coming up with this idea to do a documentary thanks to the Patriot being on, one of my listeners here, guys. I want to do, he came up with guns, God, glory, and guts. And I was like, guns, God, and guts. I want to do a documentary on the regular folks. So I'm going to see if I can get the federal government, not FC, but the federal government to help me get a donation to help me go around and do that around the country to meet some regular folks. I want to, that's my way, guys. Don't tell them that's my way of an excuse to come around and meet most of you in person without me having to pay for it. Then I can put you on video. Be like, we'll trust Ryan because we know he ain't gonna cut anything out we say. I'll be like, no, keep going. This is good stuff. I won't even be on it. I'll just be hearing my voice in the background. Well, tell me so-and-so. Well, let me tell you, man, about it. Really? Go ahead. Oh, Lord. We got a bunch of things to talk about, some strange and unusual news this hour. Alligators loose in Pennsylvania. The tunnel. The East London's Blackwell tunnel we'll talk about. Archaeologists discovering the lost temple that Jesus performed miracles in. And we'll get some other stuff. We'll talk about NASCAR fans. You're going to love this one. They're fighting out there. They're acting like they wish they could be dirt track racers like our friends at Penton over in Penton, Alabama. Good morning to the crew over there. Good morning, you guys. Thank you guys for being with us too. All right, let's jump into it. We're also going to talk about some high school football, but it's not what you think. We got some additional information on what happened in Hoover, Alabama. The scandal continues to move on there, and a volunteer coach hits a student of an opposing team at a scrimmage this past week. We'll get into all this details in just a moment. And a Boston Red Sox outfielder, Gerald Duran, issued an apology for his shouting of a homophobic slur. We'll get into these stories within this next couple of minutes. And we're going to kick it off here. Which of these is America's coolest ghost town to visit? Buddy, California, 20% of the votes. Calico, only 16% of the votes. Ruby, Arizona, I don't know why it's up to 32% of the votes. I guess everybody wants to get nuclear. Martin's already warned people about that. And White Oak, New Mexico, 32% of the votes. Good morning. Hello? Yes.
Hey, this is Evelyn from Lifetime. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, Evelyn. How you doing? From Lifetime?
I'm calling because the updated plans for Medicare have just been released.
Hey, yeah, man.
Give you some better access to things.
Nobody's got jobs anymore.
Vision, hearing, and...
Why are you guys calling so early? Hey, goodbye. I ain't got time to play with you. We got too much stuff to talk about. We got important things to talk about. I'm sorry, Amber. I didn't mean to cut off the comedy bit there, but I didn't have time to deal with it. AI's taking over everybody's jobs. Good morning, Pepper and Amber as well. I didn't say hello to them. I was off the air when they came on too. Good morning to them. Little Z, we can't say guns on our show. Meanwhile, in the world, guns are in the sentence. We can say it on the show. On this show, you can't say guns. Before we dive into any other news stories, I noticed that on the Facebook and on other places, guns are not being allowed to be said. I need that Medicare lady. Oh, I'm sorry, Martin. I should have stayed on with her for you, brother. God, I apologize, brother. Oh, man. Anyway, I should have stayed on. But I noticed they were talking about it, and Pete says he can't even spell it on his phone. His phone sometimes goes in the gum. Like, well, that might be user error sometimes, Pete. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But it does automatically do that. Sometimes when I do it on the YouTube here, they'll change words. I'm like, that's not what I wanted to say. But those people talking about it on the social medias yesterday. I was like, well, we talked about it all day on my show, so obviously we can talk about it. And on real radio, you can. That there's a gun store up the street, and that pawn shops have guns. Okay. I decided to do that out there for some of those people who were just like, I can't believe they're doing it. That's just for you guys. I had to do it for all of you. Gee, says Captain Hot Bun. Amber's going to help you out. Good. All right. April 14th, 2014, Major League Baseball owners choose MLB executive Rob Manfred to succeed the longtime MLB commissioner back in 2014. The game has changed just a tad bit. And speaking of the game, and we're not talking about Triple H or the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're talking about the baseball game. Boston Red Sox outfielder Gerald Duran issued an apology after he shouted out a homophobic slur at a fan during a loss against Houston Astros. It was at the bottom of the sixth at a 10-2 setback on Sunday in Fenway Park. Duran said, I used a horrifying word when responding to a fan. I feel awful knowing how many people I offended and disappointed. I apologize to the entire Red Sox organization, but more importantly, I apologize to a community. Well, I know that he's not getting paid right now and he's on suspension, so that is fine for, there you go, whatever he might want to. Oh, Pete, by the way, I need to say hello from Pete to the Navajo Nation there. And good morning from Daryl and everybody in the chat as well and the Navajo Nation. Yeah, I know back in the day, guys, I understand. And that we probably they probably use that word a lot of times when people were beating people up in high school, and they even showed it in shows and movies and after school specials when we were growing up, not to use these words because they were derogatory words. I know this guy probably was used to using that. I know he did the right thing by apologizing. I don't say take his career away from him or anything like that. He apologized. Most people are like, I won't do it. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It was in the heat of the moment. So, but still, back to what I was saying. We used a lot of words back in the day that were just wrong, guys. We just did. And they're like, well, people didn't say anything. Well, most of the time people were scared to say things. And sometimes people just didn't say anything because most people just let it go. I don't care. But we were abused. I've explained this before. Generation X was abused a lot. Guess that's why we messed up when we raised the next generation. We're not going to be raised the same way. We're not going to raise them the same way. Anyway, whatever happened to Rascal Flatbed? I don't know whatever happened to Rascal Flatbed. He sent some information to me one time, and he said that, I guess he's working on some things. A lot of people say they're working on some things. I'm hoping it's true. They want to see me across all platforms in the morning and different radio stations and different platforms. Hey, you want to do that? Invest in it. That way I can invest in the staff to help me out and even take care of the Facebook chats for me. Now, of course, I wouldn't ignore you guys. I'm just saying, take care of it for me. Anyway, yeah, he did. I don't think anybody's calling for this Duran guy to be fired or anything, but we did in Generation X put up with a lot of stuff that that should have never been put up with, and we had a lot of after school specials trying to teach us not to be that way. So, utilizing that word back in the day was still wrong. We know what we were meaning it for back then, but that's just the way sometimes it is, man. Just the way sometimes it is. Good morning. Good morning. Hello?
This is Noah from Reliance Ring Insurance. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Oh, I appreciate that. Stop whining. You're doing fine alone.
I'm calling
Thank
because
you.
the updated plans for Medicare have just been released.
I won't
Which
cry
may
no
give you
more. I
better
promise
access
I won't
to
cry no more.
dental,
I'm sorry, I won't.
hearing, and over-the-counter
I
benefits.
love you, brother.
You can even get up to $148 a month. That is cash back to your Social Security. Now,
Right.
I believe you do have Medicare Part A and B.
I got everything I need, buddy. I do.
This is all the information that I need for my side check your eligibility.
Please
and
do.
It does look like you qualify. I am going to get a licensed agent to get you some more details. Just give me a second.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Vaughn on the recorded line. How are you doing today?
Well, I would be doing better, but last night my father died.
Sorry to hear that, mate.
Yeah.
Stay strong. Have a blessed day.
Dadgummit. Any scam for Generation Y. I thought Generation X was 65 to 80. No, Generation X is no, that's boomers. Generation X is the ones that grew up listening to Nirvana and Metallica. Darryl, you're making me older than what I am, brother. Don't make me feel old. Oh, he hung up all right because I told him my father died. I know we put them on a list and they haven't been calling. They don't call during the day like they used to. They just call during the morning show. They want to be on the air, guys. I don't get them throughout the day anymore. Every once in a while I do, but I don't get them like that anymore. So I think they just want to be on the radio because they figured out this was a radio station. He's going to make me famous. Make me famous. How you answer the phone is slap and tickle. 50% off. How can we help you? Yeah, slap and tickle. I need to use that. I'm going to use that one. Oh, Lordy. All right, let's get into a couple other things. Free promos. That's right. In NASCAR's Joey Logano, I guess I say his name, calls Austin Dillon a piece of crap because he wrecked me. Isn't that what racing's all about? I mean, my friends in Penton and East Alabama Motor Speedway that race the dirt tracks, they're running at each other. That's what a certain particular that's what Bondo is for, to fix the cars. Get them dents out of them cars. Come on. Anyway, after being called out and spun out in the final lap of the 400 Cookout 400 this past weekend, Dillon is now the winner of that race, and he clinches the top spot for the series. And oh joy, came in 19th place, and he's mad about it. He hit my car with his car. Oh, Dale Earnhardt spinning over in his grave going, oh my God, racing NASCAR has became weak. I mean, look, anybody that's a NASCAR fan on here, and I know my brother from Tennessee is a big NASCAR fan. Tell me, people that race in the dirt tracks locally, tell me that running into somebody's part of the game, right? Kind of like in hockey, people kind of hitting one another in hockey is part of the game, right? Running each other with each other's cars, part of the game, right? Ricky Bobby would say, if you ain't first, you're last. 21 minutes past, bump and run. Thank you, brother. 21 minutes past the hour, 75 degrees here in the Atlanta market. 73 degrees here 75 in Atlanta, 73 in Noonan, and 77 in Auburn, Opelika. Your time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. I don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby's daddy was the best daddy in the world, buddy. Get in a fight in the Applebee's. Come on, man. I love that movie. Shake and bake. It reminds me of I loved how some of the real NASCAR drivers were in there too. I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in there too. I'm not much of a NASCAR guy. I know people in the family that are NASCAR guys and gals, NASCAR gals. The wife even likes it. So that's why I know about it, same way as they know about wrestling goes with me. But, most of my family watches all sports, wrestling, NASCAR, football, hockey. I think hockey I've introduced most of my family now. Oh, it happens, right? Exactly. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. We had a gnarly thunderstorm here last night. Loudest thunder I've ever heard. Damn near shook the house and the foundation. Wow. Sorry to hear about that. Hope you're all right. So there you go. Time and temperature there. We already told you what it was brought by. We appreciate everybody being with us, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I mean, I understand my team's not going to win this year, and I'm getting a little mad about being hit, but it's all part of the game. Now, if there's new NASCAR rules, they're like, you do not touch the other guy's car. You don't talk about the other guy's wife like that. I mean, look, what happens in wrestling if you can't talk somebody down? I mean, where are we going to stop? You're going to make people feel bad if you start bullying them in wrestling. I want your belt. You can't have my belt. I'm the champion. No, I want to be the champion because I should have been the champion. Come on. Come on. Let's don't get too. I'm a little PC for the radio because I don't want to be lose the license to the station. I won't drop F-bombs and S-bombs. But come on, you can't be too PC when you're wrecking a car in another car. I mean, don't hurt somebody's feelings. Well, I lost because he pushed me off and took the top spot. Well, that was his job. That was the dealing guy's job. He was supposed to push you around. He was supposed to push you out of the way so he could go to number one and try to win. Duh. That was his job. He had one job and he did it right. Yeah, I had the same problem last night. Ran into what? Bump and run, a whole house shaking. Wow. Randall said, good morning, PC. So yesterday, good morning. I mean, NASCAR, he ran into me. This Joey guy, he's a piece of crap for wrecking me. He spun me out. Well, that's part of the racing. He spun me out, and I can't go to eat at Applebee's. No, we would never eat there. We're fancy now. Fancy like Applebee's. I'm just kidding. And this Austin Dillon's like, look, I'm old school. My parents brought me to be old school. I dirt tracked and everything, so that's what we do. We spin people out. He are a piece of crap. He's like, no, well, I won, so I'll be the number one piece of crap, right? I enjoy cars and stuff, but I can't stand NASCAR. F1, the illegal street racing, is where it's at here. And where you're at, always people street racing. We got some of that here too. But I just thought it was funny in NASCAR when I got a story this morning to tell about NASCAR. And the story is that one of the NASCAR participants is arguing about another one spinning him out. I'm going, isn't that what the whole concept of that was? If you're not rubbing, you're not racing. Thank you, Randall. Thank you. There's somebody who knows something about NASCAR. I keep trying to, I'm not a big NASCAR person, but I do know, I'm more of a dirt track guy, but into those local guys, but I do know that like you said, if you're not rubbing, you're not racing. It happens. Exactly. I can't believe this. Some people are just, welcome to the jungle, baby. There you go. I just can't believe it. He's just mad he didn't win is all it is. And the other guy, Austin, he took the number one spot. So he ended up winning the race at the Cookout 400. You don't hear him going, that guy. You don't hear him responding back. His team probably told him, his manager, the people over him, the owners probably said, don't respond back. Just ignore the guy. Oh, my Lord. I just love it when they do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's some more sports news. And Georgia, I got to talk about high school football, man. It's not what you think. It's not scores and highlights. Newton High School Football volunteer coach was removed from the team after an altercation with a player from the opposite team, the Milton team, during a scrimmage. It happened when Milton High School was playing Newton High School this past weekend in a scrimmage game, which those games don't really mean much. It's just kind of a practice game for them. The incident happened at Milton High School. In a video that went around and went viral, one of the players from Milton High School kind of got up in the volunteer coach's face and accidentally stepped on his foot. And then the volunteer coach decided to slap him or hit him in the back of the head. And the head coach over at Newton High School said, hey, his name is Joshua Skeleton. He apologized for the incident, and they escorted the volunteer coach off the field. He's no longer allowed to work with them. He said, that don't reflect who we are here at Newton High School. And I understand that. And the Milton High School coach, Ben Reeves, said the same thing. And incidents in the area has regarded some big reaction from some of the parents and everything. You just can't slap the kids around like they used to. Just because they slapped us around and it was wrong don't mean we can slap them around now, guys. Come on. It is wrong. You let somebody else slap their own kids around. My parents would call the parents of the kids and say, hey, your kids did wrong. And I remember the good old days when my parents would call somebody else's parents and say, your kid did so-and-so. And their parents would be slapping them all the way out the door. Those were the good old days with you. You do not bully. You do not bully. And you're sitting there going, and then your parents are saying, don't you laugh. If you laugh, I'm going to do the same thing to you. Yeah, but they were pulling my underwear over my head, but I can't laugh at their. No, you cannot laugh. Oh, those were the good old days. That's actually the only thing I agree with right there. From back in the day. They will slap you back. Oh, wow. If you got money, we got a cure for you. We got a cure for your disease. Well, the Cure came out in the 80s. I mean, some of their music was good. Yeah, got to see those kids handle what's coming. So sad. But, abuse, you don't abuse your authority and everything. And I know a lot of coaches out there that know how to, scream at their players the proper way and everything without hitting them. But these coaches look, that's not how we do it. We scream in their faces. We don't slap them. We don't hit them in the back of the head. Abuse is bad, brother. You're right. But we were abused back then too. That's why we think it's all right. And some of us think it's all right nowadays. Well, back in the day, they smacked me out of the back of the pickup truck and I fell and they ran over me, broke my leg, but then they told me that was my fault. Love a good coach. I know, 12. I do too. Love a good coach. But this one right here, I respect. I'm just saying, Coach Skeleton and Coach Reeves, both of these gentlemen from the two schools that play, I did a great job at what they did. Reeves talked to his players about not disrespecting the coaches, even on the opposite team, if they didn't like what they heard. That was a part of it right there, too. I just want to put that out there, that he did speak to his team about being disrespectful and everything. But also, Coach Skelton's like, look, we're not going to have anybody like that on the sidelines, and everything. So, like I said, I love a good coach, 12. And these are some good coaches. We got some great coaches around. Now, don't get me wrong. I like a good old coach, and one of my friends is Coach Tommy Lewis from Monday. He's a great coach. I like a good old coach that will, boy, what's wrong with you? Get up off your feet. You're lazy. No, I like a good coach like that because I had a band director like that. I was in the marching band, and I had a band director that was like a coach. I loved it, man. You went up, you had to hold in your breath when you were playing an instrument. He'd go up to the trumpet players and the male trumpet players, hit them on the stomach and say, tighten that up. Oh, that was a good old days. I'm not picking. That was what really happened. Thank you. Great show. I'm back, says Martin. Randall said, hopefully these kids will get over it by the time they get to boot camp. Oh, God. I don't know if they can make it into that, Randall. Some of them could. Now, I think some of them can. There's a lot of tough kids out there. We just don't highlight them enough because of the news media don't highlight them enough. Because, you know, to talk about a good kid that says yes sir, no sir, respectful to their authority, don't cuss in front of their parents, don't cuss behind their parents' back. That's not a news story, guys. Yeah, the clickbait media wouldn't have a field day with it, but you're right about that, Randall. Daniel said the wooden spoon used to give a good old smack. There you go. Terry C., good morning to you. Hope so. It will be a mess if they don't suck it up. You got that right. My mom used a board, Daryl. Brother, you should. I pray for Martin. I know his mama was a good woman, but I pray for him that really didn't hurt that bad in Jesus' name. Oh, man. We're going to take a break. When we come back, wooden spoons. Yep. But we were abused, guys. Hickory switches. Now, I don't see anything wrong with those, Terry C. I never did. We used to have to go pick our own hickory switches. But I tell you what, my brother, my sister, and I, that switch set on the dashboard of the car. We were heading to the grocery store. I'd be like 4 or 5, and my brother and sister. It's set right there, and that's what we got. If we were going to get that if we acted up when we come out of the store. And you know what? We acted right. And we looked at every other kids that were acting up going, their mom. One day we were in the store, and I turned to my brother and sister and said, their mom must don't have a switch. My mom started laughing. We got a breadboard, Amber said. Ooh, God. Didn't like that. Randall said, you haven't lived until you experienced a razor strap. Ooh. Yeah, that's pissing your dad off doing it. That's still in the car and pissing your dad off right there. Razor strap. My mom didn't. We are where she hit us kids. Laugh out loud. Men treated boys to become men. Women were women. Those days have been. Yeah, they've been messed. It's been messed up. A belt. My dad used a belt. He did. Yep. Had those a few times too. Good morning, BK on the air. How you doing? Terry Z. Belt. Justine, my grandmother used the fly swatter. There you go. BK's like, I'm coming into what? Yeah, we're just talking about the good old days, BK, like that. That's what your show's about. Like, wow, Ryan and him are talking about getting spankings. And that's what we call them, spankings, guys. Oh, Lord. Some of them were abusive. They really were. But like I said, we knew with the hickory switches that were sitting on the dashboard of our mom's car what not to do. Good morning, BK on the air, brother. How you doing? My brother from another radio mother. We're going to take a break. Come back in a moment. I got some more stuff to talk about and some strange and unusual news. Oh, queen-size beds. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, my brother, how you doing? How you doing this morning?
All right, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic, enjoying myself.
I'm doing all right. So, back in 1991, springtime, the United States government ordered Penitentiary, which is located just outside of Amarillo, Texas, to build 3 new types of nuclear weapons.
Wow.
You have the big one, Minuteman 2. You have another one, Minuteman Miniature, which is about 1/3 the size of the original Minuteman 2. And then also, you had what's called suitcase nukes. What's not really about the size of a suitcase, it's really the size of a oil drum. One of those 55-gallon oil drums, if you ever seen one.
Yeah, I have. I've seen them.
But
Wow.
anyway, he was transporting a new miniature Miniman too. We also call it, like I said, a tactical nuke.
Right.
All the way down to Damascus, Arkansas.
Really?
Going from Amarillo, Texas, all the way down to Damascus, Arkansas.
Wow.
Which is 35 miles northwest of Little Rock,
Right.
Arkansas.
Wow.
And anyway,
Right.
we were going down there. Our orders is to replace what is called the Titan II ICBM, which ICBM stands for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile.
Wow.
And while we're trying to replace the
Was I in a pinch?
Titan II missile in the it's about 52 to 5,300 feet concrete hole in the dirt. Literally about a mile deep in
Wow.
the ground. Concrete silo. We sat there and we staged our train in the Delta formation. That's a Delta formation is basically a big triangle. As we successfully pulled out the Titan II missile.
Wow.
And we're about to lower down the Minuteman II missile into the silo.
Right.
As we was lowering it down into the silo, two of the three chains on our crane broke, and we dropped that missile so hard and fast that it literally went off.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, right.
Man.
Pretty much vaporizing that whole town.
Wow. I believe it. I believe it. That's where we get some of these ghost towns from. I know.
Yeah, because that's one of your stories I was going to give you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Martin.
Have a good morning.
You too, brother. Amber says, my mom told my sister to get a stick. One of them got a switch. The young one came in with a log. My mom started cracking up. Not whooping her. Yeah, they're not going to hit you with a log. But a switch, which hit really fast with a switch. You really thought it was terrible. It was a little steam. But it was scary. Martin says, my mom used to tell us kids the same thing. And kind of like the kid in the Christmas story. Oh, did you have the soap? In a pinch, good morning to you. I got to say hello to Hey, we're back. Oh, don't get a little switch either. Yeah, don't get a little hickory stick either. Yes. Still enjoying the discussion about getting big and small hickory sticks, little switches as they were called back in the day, as our generation was beaten to bloody pulse. But that's all right. Just kidding. I loved how Amber said her little sister went and got a log. Her mom laughed like, I'm not going to hit you with that. I hit you with a switch. Yeah, and you don't, and like Terry C says, you didn't come back with a small one because when they went out and got one, they got one that looked really big. Really, the bigger ones were just to scare you. The smaller ones actually stung more, honestly. We didn't know as kids that. We just saw some big, oh. We love you guys. Thank you, Martin Deloach, for calling in too. In a pinch, good morning to you. How you doing, brother? My grandkids are in, Randall says, my grandkids are in tune to the application of duct tape. There you go. What's up, guys? Well, thank you very much. All right, we're going to continue talking about a couple other things. The Hoover High School Football scandal in Hoover, Alabama has expanded to a scandal. And I'm going to ask you I'm going to ask you the poll question in just a few moments. I got to get this out of the way and do a couple of unusual news stories for you as we head into the final period. And maybe we'll have a little bit more time left to do some of those unusual news stories, strange and weird, this morning after our guest comes up the next hour. History and Mysteries, Sally Tul joins us. All right. She'll be calling here in a few. Families of two of the football players at Hoover High School in Alabama are upset over the treatment that their sons received at football practices, saying that it was more than just what we thought it was. The resignation of the head football coach and defensive coordinator did not resolve the matter. Their attorneys are suing the school because there is overwhelming evidence that exclusively had more than physical abuse as well as potential sexual misconduct by head coach Drew Gilmer. Of course, he stepped down. His defensive coordinator stepped down. The offensive coordinator has stepped up to take over the remainder of the season. The high school his attorney told them basically not to say anything and speak at this time. Many people in the city are trying to figure out what is going on at one of the top ranked schools in the state of Alabama that's even been featured on MTV, as well as been featured on documentaries on Netflix and Hulu over the years. So for their, I would say, football acolytes. So there you go. There was a teacher that called me Mr. Boo-Boo. She had a boo-boo paddle. Boo-boo. She would hit you with. Okay, Pete. That's kind of scary. But, yeah, they were abusive, man. Everybody was abusive back in the day. My parents liked to whoop us, but they didn't let nobody else whoop us. No teachers at school had the right to do that. Man, paddling, man. Pop! They hit you hard. Don't you disrespect me, you pervert. Potential sexual misconduct. We'll have to find out what's going on. The former coach has an attorney. The school has an attorney, and there's an attorney for the plaintiffs there as well. So we'll have to keep you abreast of what's going on. It's getting worse and worse there in Hoover, Alabama. And we thought that the football scrimmage last week was an unusual situation, but it's not. Wow. Ooh-wee. A cigar. You guys got me lost in here now. I'm lost for sure. I looked away for a moment and I'm lost. All right. We're going to break. When we come back, we're going to have some strange and unusual news for you to close out this hour. Which of these is America's coolest ghost town to visit? 18% say Bonnie, California. 15% say a place I visited, Calico, California, which is still a tourist attraction. 34% want to go to Ruby, Arizona to get that nuclear blast off. And 34% want to visit where Billy the Kid visited a lot, White Oaks, New Mexico. We appreciate you being with us. Back in a moment. It was what he was talking about off the air. But a spooky story he was giving me. Real spooky story.
Ready to earn some sweet Southern rewards? Check out the Southern Rewards Cashback account from Southern States Bank, where debit card transactions earn you cashback.
I don't know who this Matthew guy is. He coming in with a question that don't make sense. We're talking about all this other stuff, and somebody comes in with something I don't understand. Is Matthew guy. Daryl says, question about the poll. The White Oaks place in New Mexico, is that a place where people could hear weird frequencies, or is that a different place? I think that might be a different place in New Mexico. This one is just a ghost town. But you probably could hear things there. There's nobody. I want to take over one of these ghost towns and make it my ghost town. I'll be the mayor of it and the radio guy. Put a little radio station in one of these ghost towns, open it up. We'll start our own communities.
One of the biggest questions I get is how to prepare for staying safe.
We need a big farmer. And there's some farmland out there, some of them too. We'll get a couple of farmers. We'll get a store keep. Mr. Olson. That'd be fun, Sister 12. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, Randall, that's right. Superstition Mountains. There you go. Yep, there he is. Yeah, you can be the sheriff, Terry. See that? Yeah. I mean, you'd have the easiest job in the world because all of us, everybody here would move and there wouldn't be any trouble. We'd just be throwing in Otis. We have to have a town drunk of an Otis. Yeah, I'm mixing my different shows together to form a new ghost town. I know, but still. We'll have some. Amber says, I could come and fix them tractor crabs, get them going. Okay, yeah. That'll work. First, we'll have Martin D go in and make sure it's all right. And there's no like radioactive stuff there. And then once we're all right, we'll take over the town. Everybody has jobs. There you go. We'll have to bring us an Otis with us. I don't know who will be that. I want to start my own ghost town, everybody. Go get one of the ghost towns and just build it up. And everybody's invited. In a pinch says, I used to think our house had gremlins until I remembered I broke it. You got kids, in a pinch. But they tell you'd all have to come live. It'd be a ghost town. We'll be mixing all our old shows together. Andy Griffith, Bonanza. Yeah. We'll be a little bit, Mr. Olson, we'll be a little bit more updated. We'll have to have a shopkeep. We probably would have a blacksmith because we'd have people with horses. We'll get the small cars. We'll go back to the old cars in the 40s and the 50s. No, I wouldn't tell people what to drive. Good morning, Share Bear. What's up? Good morning, family. Good morning, Share Bear. How you doing? In a pinch, he's got so many kids right now. Amber Bahaha. I told him I want to take over a ghost town here. And I'll probably use that as a poll question later on. What do you want to do in our new ghost town that I'm going to take over? I'm going to go to one of these ghost towns that don't have anything. Build it back up. And you know, get us somebody to be out on the farm like the guys. Get us a sheriff. Terry C already said he'd be a sheriff and everything. Good morning.
Yeah.
Hey.
What happened to Ruby?
Tell me about it.
Oh, the Ruby, Arizona. Like I said, that was a nuclear test site.
Yep.
Where the United States Navy and the United States Army came into that town and fought up that town and kicked all the people out so we can detonate what's called a hydrogen bomb.
Right. Wow.
That's what happened to that place.
I believe it. There's a lot of ghost towns like that.
They still a little bit radioactive.
I don't want to go there then. I do not want to be radioactive, man. So I appreciate that. Martin, thank you, brother. All right. Thank you.
People wondering why all the flights flights up and down the East Coast and up and down the West Coast. We are looking for 30 to 33 suitcase nicks that Russia snuck into our town.
I believe that because I've seen some things.
That's why you've seen a lot of them. Russia also developed, they developed around 300 to 355 suitcase nicks.
Wow.
And the problem is, we know from our intel, they snuck them in. 30 to 33 of them.
Wow.
And that's why you had a report in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Right.
You found one of those nuclear devices, the Philadelphia PD.
Mm-hmm.
We found one.
Wow.
But we also, we tried to scrub that media report. It was a couple of months ago. That's when we started doing all the flight up and down the East and West Coast looking for them. We call them nuke sniffers.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I knew there's some stuff going on, and I know stuff's going on out there near Alaska. So I was talking about that yesterday. Yeah. Wow.
But I got to go. I have to go in court.
All right.
See you later.
All right, brother. Have a good day. There you go. Martin D. from Texas on with us. Independent Share Bear, because they're talking about it. Guys, I want to get into my own and getting some weird Wednesday. So they're talking about some unusual ghost stuff and ghost towns and stuff there and everything. And I've asked the question about the ghost towns. I do want to find a ghost town around that we all can be centrally located. I could take over, and then you could put a radio station there for me. Then Terry C says he'll be the sheriff. I'm going to be the mayor as well. So we'll just go ahead and have our own little town and create our own little town. Oh, wait. Weird stuff going on up in Alaska. Yeah, you know how we talked a few weeks ago, Martin, about the sharks coming ashore into Florida and why it's so weird. And then people were like, well, there were some Russian submarines. Well, yesterday I told everybody about up in south of Alaska, a Federational ship was saw out in our waters. And then a few weeks before that, a Chinese ship from the Republic of China was in the north part of Alaska within, I guess, 155 feet or something like that. Let's see here. I got to find that news story. Yeah, the U.S. Coast Guard guys located a Russian Navy ship south of Alaska. The Russian Federation ship was inside the EEZ, which is the Economic Exclusive Zone, and an area in the ocean extended about 200 miles beyond. And then the People's Republic of China military ship was 124 miles north of Alaska a few weeks ago. So there you go. Yep, I had thought about that yesterday. So that's why I believe some of that stuff there, or that's why I think I know some of that stuff's similar. All right. Does Atlantis count? Ain't nobody been there in quite some time. Atlantis does count. Nobody's been there. That does count. Ghost town in the bottom of Lanier Lake. Yes, that's where there were several. There was a ghost town there. And they flooded the town and made it a man-made lake, Pete, and Lake Lanier. That's why so many accidents and stuff happen around that area. All right, guys. With us this morning, we're going to find our own ghost town that we don't have to worry about. We're just going to build back up. We're going to take the town, build it back up, and add. Make it a little bit more moderate. We'll have some horses. We'll have some old school cars from the 40s and the 50s. I mean, if you have a new car, that's fine too, but we want to stay away from all that in the new city. Yep, that's it. Yeah, China and Martin said Chinese and Russian bombers were flying in U.S. airspace in Alaska too. Yep, it's been coming up a lot lately. There you go. I've seen a lot of people in dinosaur mode in this modern era. There you go. I don't know why it is. Share Bear. I don't know. All right, stay tuned. We got coming up for you in just a few moments. We're going to talk with our good friend, Sally Tul, Histories and Mysteries, next. I'm going to Alaska in September. I'll report back and bring prisoners. All right, Terry C., do that, brother. Whoa.
ABS is accredited by Cognitive and a member of the Alabama High School Athletic Association with the Bible Foundation.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic for a Wednesday.
Great.
Is getting ready to get everything ready to get started with you.
Sure.
So how's everything going? You guys got a final move yet? Ever set up, or are you still camping?
Oh, they're doing good. We're getting some camping site dates lined up. We can get out of here to the camp and get on the road. Is what we're trying to do.
Okay.
And we've the office studio that we're building there with my son is going good. So that's close to being moved in, coming down here and being able to do voiceovers and editing, and he can do his work. He's got a YouTube channel as well. So that's coming along, and we've got a week in October. Second season of the Lula Legends and Lore Ghost Tour that we've got going.
Oh, yes.
So that'll be fun. Then you want us up there for a whole week this year.
Really?
Yep.
Good. That sounds like it's going to be a good.
Last year, we only did a Friday and Saturday because there was a Friday the 13th. And we did the Friday and Saturday, and then the turnout was so incredible that they messaged me about a week ago and said, hey, how about we do 2 weekends? And Mark and I will pull the camper on up there, and we'll stay in the driveway of a friend's house.
Oh my, that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Heck yeah. Yeah, camper sleeps really well, but we'd be shocked at how well the camper sleep certainly does. So it's really cozy.
Hey, Bailey.
Here we got that air conditioner running. Boy, oh boy, that's good sleeping when you got that air running like that.
Well, it's always good to be able to get out. And then traveling is what you do anyway. It's going to be fun to travel around and do that. Spend a week there doing that and doing.
So it's here and there, and we got a kind of partnered up with that. We talked about that house, the Page House over in Turin.
Right.
And we partnered up with her, and she's going to do a once a month event for Walking Dead fans or history fans, and either of those people would enjoy. She's going to have a pasta party, and you can get pictures in the house and hear the history of the house, and we'll have the that episode of The Walking Dead playing that was filmed at the house, so it's going to be pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah, we found out that there were 2 Lifetime movies filmed there as well. And
Really?
they're both like horror movies on Lifetime, like like my boyfriend lived out back and murdered my mother kind of thing. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Soap operas extreme. Time always is soap operas extreme. Always.
Yes. The horror soap opera theme, what I think they're about.
I know.
But people love it. They watch it. So,
Oh, I know.
I got to admit, I watch a few Lifetime movies around Christmas myself.
Yeah, I know. The wife watches some of them too. She'll watch some of the murder ones. She had stopped watching.
This beautiful piece of property that, you know, is going to get shut down by big business.
Yep.
And then it's saved, and of course, they fall in love with the person that they're least likely to be with. So.
Yes, it always seems to be some independent woman comes from New York with the company she was with. Either she's leaving the company, she goes back to her hometown, and she runs into an old boyfriend that she had years ago that never left the town, and he's the spirit of Christmas because he's the Christmas tree provider and everything. I don't know how much money he makes or whatever. She's like it's her job.
Yeah, he's always just, you know, wearing a flannel shirt. But then you find out later that he's, you know, like a prince from some other country or something.
Yeah, you find out later he has a lot of money. He owns half the town. That's why he can. Yeah.
Yeah. The girl always shows up in a little sports car.
Thank you, Pepper. She said, yes, right. Pepper's agreeing.
So funny. So predictable. So.
Well, all the murder ones are the same too. You know, they just changed the name. It's like the cheerleader kills somebody or the cheerleader coach kills somebody. Go to college, your roommate kills you. Your roommate falls in love with you and kills you. There's always something on those Lifetime movies. I'm like, what? How could you not know somebody's crazy? You go walk up to them and you see they're crazy. Oh, funny plots. I know. Come on, I know they ain't gonna start calling right now.
Right outside my door. But yeah, things are going good. The offices got all the electricity done.
Good.
And the county inspector came out, told us a couple of little more things to do, and we have to change a window. One window has to be bigger so that you can get out of it in case of a fire. But whatever.
I'd have said, what you trying to say? What you trying to say about me, huh? You don't think I can get out this little window?
Yeah.
That's what I'd said. You don't think I can get out this little window? What you trying to say about me?
Well, I almost climbed up on a stool and said, I can get out this window if I needed to.
Yeah, you're just going to bust it.
You know, we're not on the air. I could tell you, inspectors, I think they get a little bit of power.
They do. They do.
And they kind of are like,
It gets to their head for sure.
I've been doing this 20 years. When they start with that line, I'm always like, okay.
Yep, exactly. All right, we're ready to go on.
No more dissing the inspectors at Coweta County.
That's right. Don't do that. They'll come get me.
They might be listening.
They probably are. They probably are. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Hopefully we're not getting no phone calls. That's what I thought. Welcome back in to RyanORadio Penitentiary. You guys are in lockdown with us this morning. As always, it's a weird Wednesday. You know what that means? Our guest this morning is joining us once again the second Wednesday of each month. She is an author. She's an actress. She is a traveler, a blogger, as well as a tour guide. And she has been, of course, a Family Feud champion. She's a mother, a grandmother, a wife, and her and the husband are going to be traveling this coming up October. And please welcome from Histories and Mysteries, our very good friend, Sally Tul. Good morning, Sally.
Hey, good morning,
They're all saying good morning to you. And of course, during the break, Sally and I were talking about Lifetime movies and all the wonderful plots there. So,
Yeah.
which is the same thing.
That lifetime season.
Yeah, it's getting close to it. Christmas around the corner. So there's always going to be that one independent woman who was a successful lawyer or CEO of a company. She's going to come back to town and meet that old boyfriend she kicked to the curb many years ago that works at the Christmas tree farm. And we find out that he actually owns the whole town now.
Yeah, and she always has a lovely hat, scarf, and mittens that match.
Exactly. Where do you get? Well, you get that stuff in New York City. You don't get that in the local corner here. And
I mean, you know, come on. And she trades in her high heels for a pair of boots.
yeah, like she, and then she acts like she's never been to the country when she left 20 years ago. She left the South 20 years ago, like she would forget how to eat fried chicken and mashed potatoes. Come on.
Yeah, and she goes to visit the uncle that she hasn't seen in years and all that.
Ah, yes. Lifetime love movies. You know, that's better than the cheerleader killed my professor because I was having an affair with him and my mother was also dating him. Oh, wow. Well, we're here for Histories and Mysteries as always with our guest, Sally Tul. And Sally, let's jump right into it. Where are we going to be heading out today? What we're going to travel with you in your vehicle all over, and you're going to take us around.
If anybody wants to get on the, check out our YouTube channel, Histories and Mysteries, and I got a playlist on there that's kind of building, and it's roadside attractions, and basically little oddities that were clearly someone's attempt at getting people to stop and see just what your little store or market has to offer. And so, not only in Georgia, but across the country, and I'm sure some of the listeners, if anybody has a comment of some really crazy place they've been, I know we've been to places with giant ice cream cones and different things to attract you into the business. So, abandoned places and roadside attractions. That's what we're talking about this morning.
And that goes perfect with my poll question this morning, which is which of these is America's coolest ghost towns to visit? Body, California, 16%. Calico, I visited there, 13%. Ruby, Arizona, which is nuclear, they say 37%. And White Oaks, New Mexico, 34%, where Billy the Kid went through. Those are 4 great choices. And I know you've been through ghost towns in the past as well.
Yeah, I've been through a few towns, but I tell you, I've never been out to where the whole alien radiation testing stuff, that fascinates me. Because, I have to say, I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the government that we don't know anything about.
Well, there you go. We got a lot of listeners that are probably going, hey, I'm now.
Yeah, I mean, look what they did with Agent Orange and, ruined an entire generation of men who bravely went off to Vietnam, and the government, let's test this chemical. Even if it kills the guys who are testing it. So things that the government and the military is cooking up, and some of it I'm glad that I don't know about between you and me.
Yeah, me too. Well, I do know we get a little information right here on this show, and I do have some people connected that will tell me. And also, the Captain America thing was kind of based on somebody really trying to do that to super soldiers back in the day. So there's a lot of unique things. But like some of these ghost towns, I've been to Calico myself. I want to go to the White, New Mexico. That's where Billy time.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We've always wanted to take a trip out to Tombstone, Arizona as well.
Oh, Tombstone is awesome.
We're fascinated with the Doc Holliday story. And of course, you and I here in Noonan.
Yes.
We're not far from his hometown of Griffin.
Exactly.
And there's a bit of mystery around that man for sure. He lived quite an interesting life. And so with history, if the folks are listening, with history, I've found, we really only know the very top of the iceberg of what the real story is. And
exactly.
A lot of times we'll never really know what the whole depth of any story is. So we're fascinated with Doc Holliday for sure, as an
Yes.
interesting human who walked this earth and did some crazy stuff. But
Well, I tell you,
general roadside attractions. I go back to, now I don't know if you're old enough, but when I was a teenager and in college, there was a really cool little sort of a hippie book called Another Roadside Attraction.
okay.
And a lot of us read that, and then the author also wrote one about Cowgirls Get the Blues.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a song.
Like me remember either of these books. They were like Bibles to hippies back in the day.
Okay.
And whenever I think of roadside attraction, my mind goes back to this really strange book. And I won't tell you, don't look it up. I'm sure it's still available. But Another Roadside Attraction, it was called.
Check it out.
Aren't roadside attractions, some of them you see, and, there's some kooky, I hate to use the word kooky, but I'll just use the word kooky. There's a kooky person, out back running this little business, and they decided the way to attract you into their place of business was to, build a giant ice cream cone or.
Yes, Route 66.
What about those Michelin men? Remember the Michelin men?
Oh, I remember.
And that was, and the Muffler Man and the Michelin Men, and these were just ways to get people to stop and, get off the road and come visit your establishment. I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
In Florida, we were at a yard sale. Now, Florida yard sales, if anybody knows about those, folks go down to Florida and they retire, and when they pass, which is inevitable for all of us, a lot of times their family doesn't want any of their stuff because they live up north. They live here, they live there.
Right.
They got their own stuff.
Right, exactly.
They just hire somebody to sell all the contents of somebody's house, in the state. You get some really cool stuff in Florida yard sales. Just saying. Well, we were at one of those one time, and this man had been a person who built, you almost want to call him a puppet or a character out of like I don't even know what the process was, but they were really, really cool plexiglass. I don't know.
Right.
This guy had a giant shark in his garage, and he had a giant octopus, and the family didn't want these monstrosities. This shark was probably 8 to 10 feet tall, and there was a guy with us there who wanted to buy it to put it in front of his beachside shop.
Right.
Because he knew it would attract customers.
Right.
If you're driving around, you see this giant shark head, you might pull over. The kids might say, let's go see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Even take a picture in front of the shark.
Exactly.
Well, the guy didn't have a truck, so Mark and I ended up, the guy gave Mark $20. We threw this giant head of a shark in the back of our Toyota Tundra, and off we go down the road, and the people taking pictures, it was just the funniest thing. So somewhere out there is a video. It was before I started making videos.
Right.
And we're driving around in this truck with a giant shark head in the back.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That was an interesting morning.
I'm sure it was. We're going to dive it. We're going to dive.
And I know what people do in business.
It did for sure.
That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. Either abandoned things on the side of the road.
Right.
Or just quirky things. And we do have a growing playlist on our YouTube channel of, places that we just, pull over. And you get the camera out and you never know what you're going to find.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about them abandoned mills and roadside attractions. As you already gave us a perfect example and everything right there with the big shark head and everything.
Big shark head, which reminds me of Marietta with the big chicken.
Oh, yes.
Here in Georgia, we've got the big chicken in Marietta.
Yep.
We have, what was the other one here? Oh, we have a school bus graveyard in Alto, Georgia. I didn't know that before, so I'm putting that on our to-do list.
Right.
And then in Columbus, I found out, I'm putting this on our to-do list, they have a lunchbox museum.
Yep, they do.
So I got to get there. I definitely got to get there. And then, of course, in Waycross, Georgia, on my list of places to go would be the mummified dog stuffing
No, I haven't. I didn't. This is the first time I'm hearing.
Talk about weird. This I think it was 1980.
Okay.
And they were lumbering the timber down in South Georgia. This is Waycross. For people who don't know, that would be South Georgia.
Right.
South Georgia. Big on high school football down there.
Oh yeah, they are.
Very big. They won state championships numerous years.
Yes, they have.
So they have this museum about logging. Well, in 1980, as guys were just logging the area, they looked in a log and there was a petrified dog stuck in the log. And instead of just sending the dog off to the mills and to be timbered up, they donated this section to the museum about timbering. And the people come, from across the world to see this mummified dog stuck in a log at a little roadside museum in Waycross, Georgia. And there was a contest to name him, and the winner named him Stucky. Why? Stuck in the log, right? And they also thought that the log and the dog looked like the pecan log from Stucky.
Wow.
The restaurant we saw.
Yes, I remember that restaurant.
The original. Now we have Buc-ee's.
Yes, we do.
In my day, it was Stucky's.
I remembered
It
Stucky's.
makes me wonder if it, goes back to the same family of people who said, let's do
You never know.
place to stop
You never.
along your travels to Florida. Because anywhere in the country, people who travel to Florida, you're going to go past the roadside attractions for sure.
For sure, you're going to go buy one. And this also, there's many of them out there going towards Route 66. So
Which way?
Route 6.
Which way?
Sorry about that. Scam artists are calling you over the top of this. I don't understand why they keep calling after they've been reported. Hold on a minute, Sally. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're good?
Well, I think we're good now. I said Route 66 is one of the biggest roadside attractions ever.
We found an old Route 66 sign at a yard sale one time, nailed to a tree, and they were going to tear the house down. Mark went out there, got his screw gun out of the truck and unscrewed the sign, and we paid $10 for an old Route 66 sign.
Wow.
Here again, another roadside attraction. But for us, on our playlist so far, so these are some places we want to go try because
All right.
they're crazy places. Now, we have been to America.
Oh, yes.
There is a wing walker statue.
Seen it?
And a Charles Lindbergh statue. That's in America, Georgia. We've been
Yep.
that.
Been there too.
Part of our Andersonville video.
Right.
And that was and now we've also been to one where we called it, I think it was Stealth Cemetery was the title of this one. And that's where we found a grave in the woods, all of stone, a nice stone. Tombstones aren't cheap either. That's several hundreds of dollars, I'm sure, of a stone. And then we did a Google search for the guy's name, and he has another grave plot at a regular cemetery a mile from a stone in the middle of the woods. Now, why does one person need two cemetery plots?
Strange.
And which one is he really in?
That's the question. Or is he in either one of them?
I mean, that's the mystery. Was it like an old African-American graveyard?
Right.
And then when the church, either burned down or just disassembled, did the family, the bodies were never returned to the family, whether it being lost at sea or, military lost in action. A lot of times families still want to put a marker, memorializing that human with the family plot. So that was a weird roadside attraction to find.
Wow.
Same guy, same birthday, same death date on two stones, a mile apart from each other. So it just makes you wonder, is he here or is he there?
Or is he in both places?
Is a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah, that could have did that. I mean, you never know back then how people were and what they did.
So that was a weird one. One of our other weird ones that was an abandoned building that like a last minute, hey, let's go film that cool abandoned building. We knew a little bit about it, but not much, found out more. That was one of our earliest, most popular videos, and that was between Greenville, Georgia, and Warm Springs, Georgia.
Okay.
Little roundabout.
I
Everybody
remember
knows
that.
those roundabouts. I don't know why they keep building them. They're everywhere.
I know, right?
And there's an abandoned building that's stone and steel on the side of the road. And if you take the road that it's on, you end up in Pine Mountain, Georgia. Well, we found out that was where Mr. George, I believe it was George Jenkins, who started Publix. That building was his dad's earliest grocery store, where the guy who founded Publix grew up learning how to be a grocer and deal with the public. And this building, it still had a safe. There was a bat hanging in there.
Ooh.
I mean, the place is just cool. Totally abandoned, but the history and people were fascinated by that. And it's basically a roadside attraction, and you drive by it every once in a while, and you'll see people getting out taking pictures. It's been complete. This time of year, it's probably completely taken over with kudzu. Probably completely taken over.
Right.
But in the wintertime, you can really get in there and see the stone and the steel. And that was just random to us, and it was so odd because we just put the video up as just an extra little video. We thought it was kind of cool. And before we know it, we're getting people commenting on, I work for Publix, and I remember the family and all this stuff. So you never know which little roadside attraction people are going to be interested in. That's for sure.
It's definitely one of those things you never know. And I've seen a lot of them. It's always cool. And sometimes like you said, you see these abandoned roadside attractions, and you wonder what used to be there. And you might see a peach on there, and you just assume, well, they were selling peaches or something, or if it's an old gas station. I like seeing the old gas station sitting there and everything.
Yeah.
And right here in Noonan, there's a house. As you go towards Jackson Street, I'd say you go down towards Jackson Street, there's a house right behind the house. There's someone who has an redone old 76 gas station in their backyard.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Man, I gotta find that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go down Jackson Street here in Noonan, and I don't know who they are. I don't know. I just know that I've been by there a few times and noticed. Look over there. I see a gas fully fledged, look like a old gas station, not really a gas station, but old storefront with the 76
so cool.
in their back. So I don't.
We've seen people before that have just set up like entire little pioneer towns.
Yes.
They got like a little post office.
That's what
They got a blacksmith shop.
Yep.
And then then they end up inviting smokers out, and it just comes from a love of history.
Yep.
And somebody, that's the thing. A lot of these roadside attractions are really bizarre and odd. But when you think about it, it's somebody had a whim or a thought, and instead of just passing it off as, wouldn't that be fun to do, somebody got out there and did it.
Right.
And I think that's the cool part about it. I mean, we only live once. If you can't embrace the odd side of life,
And I can.
missing out on a whole lot of fun. And just to think of somebody who said, I'm going to, rebuild a gas station that looks like 1920s in my backyard.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing something like that, spending their time to do something like that. And that was one of the other questions I was doing with my audience today. Was like, I was sitting there thinking, I'd like to take an old ghost town and revamp it up and see what you can do about, doing something with it. Maybe have people move into an old ghost town, and
That's cool.
get it back to.
Where people can come, come stay, be like an Airbnb or
Yeah.
kind of a glamping situation. Well, up in North Georgia, and I think it's only in the summers too.
Right.
They have an outdoor movie theater.
Yep.
And you can pull it in your car, but I don't know the details. I've only heard about it once. We haven't gotten to go there yet. But they have like 2 or 3 little vintage campers, kind of like our cute little vintage camper. And you can stay stay there, watch the movie from the front porch, and then just go to sleep in a little camper after the movie. And there's maybe 3 or 4 of them, and they have goats on the roof there. Now, have you heard of the goats on the roof?
The goats?
There are goats.
Okay, yeah.
Of like the concession stand, I believe. So somebody listening has been to North Georgia and knows more about the goats on the roof. And, so leave a comment so Ryan can read it, because we have dear friends that have invited us up and we just have not got it on the calendar yet. But that is definitely one of our bucket lists.
Goats on the roof.
Drive a movie and get concession stands in a building where there are goats on the roof.
Oh my goodness. I would. Wow. Well, that's definitely Georgia right there for you.
That's Georgia. I mean, I was also thinking, the trip to Florida,
right.
Kids in the car, and some of these roadside attractions. I'm imagining these businessmen thinking, all right, how can we get the kids to tell dad we got to pull off here?
Right.
I want to see this, and this.
Right.
And what comes to mind to me, and I'm sure you've traveled south on 75 to Florida.
I have.
Is Cordeal and the Missile at the Crystal.
Yes. Seen it.
That's like, you're about halfway to Florida now. Let's get us a Crystal Burger. Take a picture in front of the old Missile, and of course the kids call it a rocket.
Yep, they do.
But it's definitely one of the coolest roadside attractions in Georgia.
It is. It is. There's so much history and roadside attractions everywhere and to me, like you said, these business owners back in the day were come up with very unique ideas to advertise back before even paper was out. A lot of this, people don't understand the reason they were doing a lot of this was some of this was before newspaper and radio even came in existence, and even after, so they had to do something.
It's expensive to put together some sort of a radio ad.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, I own this land or I own this building, whatever you lease in the building, I think I can build a giant ice cream cone. And then, little Susie in the back seat going to Florida, Daddy.
I want that ice cream.
Big ice cream.
Yes.
And Daddy pulls off and gets her an ice cream. And we see a lot of that. And talking
after
about
he hits
South
her.
Georgia, one of the big things to me down there, and I love to see the signs that are nuts about nuts.
Yeah.
The nuts about nuts people. And then to tell you the truth, there used to be a guy like a Mr. Peanut.
Yep.
Remember the Mr. Peanut guy along 75?
I do.
But when Hurricane Mark hit the panhandle of Florida not that long ago,
right,
it drew a lot of tornadoes up along 75, and there was a whole section, I believe it was by like Arabia and all of that area. Peanut guy who had a little sign that said, "I'm nuts about nuts," and we were pretty sad to see him go.
I know. And there's just so much. What's so interesting about this. We're talking about it around us, but so much around the country and everything. There's just so many roadside attractions. I traveled when the wife and I had moved out to Vegas. We went the Route 66. We went the old Route 66. A lot of those businesses were shut down. A lot of them were just completely falling apart and everything. But there was a few of them that were still up and going. And I tell you, when I was on the West Coast, I got to see the original site for the original McDonald's brothers, which is no longer there, but across the first McDonald's that was after Ray Crockett bought it out, like in the movie where he's like across the street from them and he's going to open a McDonald's there. That McDonald's is still there, and it's got everything you think of, from the playground to you can order pizza, everything in that. And that
arches and everything. Huh?
Yep, the original stuff. And then so been through there. So there's they try to call it the first McDonald's, but it was not the first McDonald's. It was the first one that he had put there.
If anybody's curious about the history of that, watch that movie Founders.
Yeah.
It was right here in Georgia, right in Newton.
Right around the corner from where I'm at right now.
Yes. It's right around from where you're at, not far from where I'm at. We talked about once across the country, in Centerville, Virginia, they have a styrofoam Stonehenge on the side of the road.
Yeah. Pepper.
That's crazy.
Pepper, you're
And
listening?
there's a rubber duck museum in Point Roberts, Washington. So who knew? And then there's a sun sphere in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes.
So there's a cool one right here as well. Going back up to North, we were in South Georgia for a while because there's a lot of cool stuff down there. But in North Georgia, in
Right.
Gainesville,
Oh,
there is a giant rabbit statue. You've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
And people call it Rabbit Town, and it's kind of famous because it's got an incredible little breakfast cafe there, sort of like a cafeteria style.
Right.
You go through the line, and the lady, put your grits and everything on there. But that giant rabbit, I mean, there again, you see the rabbit. What's that? Hold on, Daddy.
That's right.
It out,
Yeah, let's go get it.
And I think that if you're talking about Route 66, in the I would say 40s and 50s, especially when everyone was starting to get a car, every family had a car probably by 1950. Let's say, pretty much. And that's when it all started. People wanting to take road trips. We didn't have the internet. TV, yeah, that's cool, but what are we going to do? Get the family out.
This was another big thing. Yeah.
And we would, when I was a kid, we would go see historic places because we lived in Northern Virginia.
Right.
We would go see historical spots and stuff. But getting that Route 66, man.
Well, I tell you,
so much to see and do.
it is. And a couple of my listeners have dropped in some stuff. Cher in Iowa said Iowa has the biggest wooden coin in the world.
Oh.
She went and saw that. Yeah.
Wow.
And then Pete says if you go Highway 5 from Whitesburg to Atlanta, there's a huge mailbox.
A what?
A huge mailbox.
Really? And Whitesburg, that's not far from us.
Nope. I've got a lot of listeners from over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that one out. Well, I found one right here in Noonan. If anybody's in Noonan, next time you come in Noonan, our last video I just posted this week, we were just driving down Franklin Road. Toward Franklin out of Noonan, just past Big Pen Road.
Yep.
Now, if anybody knows about Noonan, they know that we love our Alan Jackson. He's just going to be an icon now in, country music. He's an icon. And he wrote a song for his dad about when Daddy Let Me Drive, and he talks about Big Pen Road, and that's right around the corner from where I'm at right now.
Really?
And, but just past Big Pen Road on Route 34, Franklin Road, we were driving the other day, and we looked over, and there's an old mill and a mill wheel on a creek. And so if anybody wants to check that video out, I believe I sent you a link to that one, Ryan, for people to check out. And we looked, no signage saying no trespassing. So we just cautiously and carefully, without disturbing anything, made a video. And the water wheel is incredible, and the building is incredible. And Mark found a sign that said Burpee's Mill.
Really?
Now, we don't know anything about it. I've researched it. Nothing. So somebody out there listening right now can tell me, please send me a message, watch the video, leave a comment. The only thing on the internet shows a fire that's what's listed as the Burpee's Mill Estate. And this building is still got electricity in it. So see, somebody out there knows something about that one, Ryan.
Wow. Well, Randall says,
It's a cool old mill, and it was clearly probably grinding.
yes.
This area of Georgia would have been corn.
Corn, yep.
It would have been corn here, and of course, Noonan was a mill town, a textile town.
Yep.
And Noonan also, the foundation of Noonan was the railroad hub.
Yep.
And then the textile mills. That's what Noonan, grew from. And so we found this little mill on the side of the road, and roadside attraction. We had to zip off the highway and
There you go.
get the GoPro going and, see what we could find out. And really lovely footage. It came out. It was just beautiful there. So everybody go check out that most recent video. And if you know something, leave me a comment because I'm super curious.
There you go. Definitely so, guys. If you know something about it, let us know. Randall says Route 66 south of Chicago, you can see the burial site of nuclear materials used at the University of Chicago in the 40s for the Manhattan Project. Yeah. So, wow. So, I love all this information. There's a lot of history out here that, this is the kind of stuff that kids need to get, how you would say, permission slips to get on a bus and go out for field trips and start looking at all this stuff. This is history in their communities. Definitely.
Cool stuff. And also, hey guys, if you love driving, and I know everybody wants to just get to a destination, we got to get to the
got to go.
Get where we're going.
Yep.
Why not slow down next time? Because this is kind of what Mark and I are doing in our life right now, Ryan. Really, we're slowing it down, and we're making sure we're pulling off the road.
All right.
We're not in as much of a rush anymore. Time for a museum. Some of the coolest museums I've ever been to are like one room.
Yes.
Where somebody local, this is the Museum of Mini Cars. This is a Hot Wheel museum. Whatever it might be local, and someone has taken the time to collect like-minded items for people to see. And, we've been to several roadside little museums, and man, it's always worth the hour extra in your trip, and you usually meet somebody that tells you cool stuff. So this is really our goal in life. Boy, that's a great goal, huh? Let's go find roadside attractions. But hey.
Definitely so. I love that.
We want to share it with the viewers because we know, this is one of the things we love about our YouTube channel.
Right.
We know that we have viewers because we've gotten messages and comments from folks who are no longer able. Thank God we're still able. Each day is a blessing. We're able to do this. We won't always be. We know that.
Right.
But we love that we have people that tag along who may not be able to do this of traveling. We've got one regular follower who messages me. I love watching your videos because I'm homebound. But I put on your videos, and nowadays we all have these big, beautiful TVs.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow some of these YouTubers, not just us, but a lot of them, man, there's a lot of enjoyable stuff to see. Which just tag along with a YouTuber and find these cool things, and we just love that. People enjoy tagging along and seeing all these little roadside stuff with us. And Georgia does not disappoint in roadside attractions. I have to say that.
Definitely so. All right, Pete, if you got more information on Mill, let Sally know and everything. Yes, for sure. Tell everybody how to follow you, what's coming out next, all that good stuff, Sally.
Right. So, and I wanted to throw out one more thing too for everybody. On Facebook, you can find me just Sally Tul on Facebook. And last month we talked about the Page House. The Page House is going to do a once-a-month first Saturday event.
Awesome.
If you follow us on Facebook, anybody who might be in the area, we're going to do a pasta teaching, and then we'll talk about the history of the house. I wanted to throw that out there. And that's going to be a first Saturday ongoing event in Turin, Georgia. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. But Histories and Mysteries on YouTube is the YouTube channel. Please follow it. And then if you are headed to Georgia and you'd like somebody to guide you around, check out Georgia Location Scouts. That's our new tour company. And we can take you to historical spots or Walking Dead movie locations. Give me a call or send me a message and we can customize the tour. If there's something you're super interested in, we'll make sure you get there and see it.
Sounds good. We definitely got to do that. Follow Sally, and of course, we'll have her back again next month talking more histories and mysteries right here on 99.1 FM WQEE The Key and the RyanORadio Penitentiary. We're going to let her out on good behavior.
Yay, thank you.
Back in a moment. Awesome. Everybody's talking about traveling now.
Cool stuff.
They definitely excited about it. All right.
That was good. I enjoyed that. That's some good cool stuff.
Well, Pete said he remembers that mill. It was working when he was a kid. So I told him to get in touch with you about it. He said, I'll follow Sally. Well, get in touch with her, Pete. He says he follows you, so get in touch with her.
Oh, great. Yeah, tell them to send me a message. We have some more history building. It's very lovely. And we know somebody owns it because somebody's paying the power bill there.
Oh, so it's up and working. Okay.
Because the power company doesn't let that power go, and somebody pays that bill every month for sure.
Oh, I know. They're not going to just let it go.
No, heck no, not Georgia Power. No. They'll be after you.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Oh,
All right. Well, I'll talk to you again next month.
Cool. So next month, September has a Friday the 13th, so I can already tell you, I'm thinking we'll probably talk Friday the 13th stuff.
Ah, that sounds good to me.
I mean, we like to watch that calendar and try to make sure we're, doing seasonal stuff and everything.
Sounds good to
And then,
me.
of course, October, everybody knows we'll talk about in October.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about Christmas.
Bring it out to go. This event is I might want to see you guys run ads.
Yeah, we do.
You guys run ads, right?
Uh-huh.
And,
Yeah.
how would I find out about that? Just from you? Can you send me like a price list or something?
Yep, I can.
Okay, do that because she's very interested in she's trying to save the house.
Okay.
So save the house. We need to get people in the house participating in events. And she feeds you. She's a caterer and teaches you how to make pasta, and you can tour the home. It's got a lot of history. We know of several people who've passed away in the house. And then there's the Walking Dead aspect as well.
Okay, I can come. I can send you over a price that we usually do for small businesses in the community. I can just send you over what we usually do for the small businesses.
Okay,
And
yeah, it might be something maybe like an ad that runs after I talk or when you're doing one of these specialty cool stuff things that you do or something like that.
yeah, we definitely got something for her. No problem.
Right, and then and if it's something that I need to come in and help you with the voiceover stuff, we can work that out as well.
Okay, that'll be fine. If you want to do it, that'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get some print stuff. The print stuff is so slow, and I don't know. I'm not sure how effective it is either anymore. But
Yeah, I know. I hate to say that, but yeah. And then when everybody's really trying to go online now, and how many people really want to pay for a paper that's online? Most people that like newspapers, they want it physically in their hands.
Right.
So-
Right. And now most people are like to follow a news channel Facebook page.
Yep, that's it.
That's kind of the way of the world now. I always tease people like that. I'm old enough to remember copy and paste, and then
Exactly.
cut and paste. I was literally cutting.
That's it. Well, all right. I'll send you something over here late after I get off the air and everything, and we can get it. We'll go ahead and try to get it set up as soon as possible.
Okay, well that was interesting, and that seemed like people were reacting and commenting. I love that.
Yeah, they were talking about it for sure.
Engagement. That's the goal. Get people engaged.
That's it. That's it.
We're after it. All right, appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Talk to you next month. I'll send that over later.
Okay, thank you, sir. Talk soon.
All right. Bye. So you said Cher says, I want to get that. Since it is a weird Wednesday and we've got Friday the 13th theme song in the background, Cher said we had a haunted building route that you can travel on and see haunted places. Ooh, yeah, in Iowa, I heard about that. I got to go through there too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give you a couple of news stories. Speaking of haunted, scary things. East London's Blackwell Tunnel for centuries has been a hotspot for ghostly tales, demons, and more. According to one report, a motorcyclist indeed died in a fatal crash inside the tunnel back in the 1960s, and a phantom sounds of the motorcycle supposed to be coming up. Are there still ghosts there, or is it just a tourist attraction? Terry C says the old spaghetti factory in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, is a great place to eat, and they say it's haunted and hear and see weird things at night. Ooh, the old. I think I've heard of that. There's a book for the history of Coweta County, says Pete. Oh, yeah. So also, archaeologists, ladies and gentlemen, have discovered a lost temple where Jesus performed miracles in a synagogue during the 380 AD and found the region back in the 1905. And while programs were going on and traveling around, they explored it and finally discovered more information about it in 2024. Wow. Thanks to all the soldiers, super soldiers out there that are real super soldiers. Or say, I don't believe in ghosts. Well, some people that don't believe in ghosts believe in. Some people believe in UFOs, and some people are skeptics like me, and I just do shows with people getting information. Like I said, I'm a straight edge independent skeptic, and I believe in the Bible. That's all right. You can believe in what you want. Don't bother me. It's not dangerous to our society. They just keep on wanting to call me. All right. I think I got everything out of the way, and let's see. Yesterday on the poll question, not as many today on my poll question of the day. Which of these are America's coolest ghost towns to visit? And Ruby, Arizona, which Martin D has already told you shouldn't be wanting to have anything to do with, is the one he says shouldn't have anything to do with. It's the number one. Good morning.
For you.
Okay.
So me and a friend asked me to come help them do some plumbing work for a church outside of Houston.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, all right, that's fine. I can do that. Thinking I'm going to do something good for someone. So while we're down in this church doing some plumbing work, trying to stop the water flowing out of the wall. So we broke into the wall and we found packages and packages. I mean, packages of hundreds of dollar bills.
Whoa!
I mean, hey, loaded, man.
I needed some of that.
Loaded. But, yeah, you might have heard it, Joel Osteen Church, if you really want to know.
Really?
Yeah. Osteen, one of the biggest mafia family.
Really? No wonder they make a lot of money.
Kind of funny, huh?
Kind of unique.
They're using money as insulation in the wall.
Wow. I wish I could use this. I wish I could have that, but nobody ever brings me any. I never get that. I get stuck in old buildings. All right. I appreciate it.
Might not believe it, but I'm just saying. But have a good morning.
You too, brother. Thank you. Martin D calling there. Randy says, look at the thousands upon thousands of testimonies of people talking about going to hell with near-death experiences only to be some going to heaven. The path to hell is broad. Yes, it is, Randy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know you can tell me about this place, Pete. We had somebody here before too. We had the original sheriff come in and talk about it. The Winchester House, that's one that I talked about too. So there you go. A couple of unique stories, a couple of things. We want to thank everybody for being with us. Sharon, Pete, you've seen Beetlejuice commercials. Looks good. Oh, you're going to look for that one. Judgment Day comes in when some lunatic finally pushes the button. Oh, wow. Some seen that place on TV, Ruby. Demons are there. Oh, you're talking about Ruby, Arizona? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there because you can be radioactive, man. Radioactive, man. Oh, man, what a great day it was. I want to thank Sally Tul as we travel around talking about abandoned mills and abandoned roadsides, diners and shows and gas stations and everything else. Not shows, but everything else. It was kind of a good thing. And we got to talk about that. I'm glad you guys got involved in that this morning, too. Martin DeLuce says, they're about to push the button, buddy. Oh, man. Well, we got a couple more minutes left. I'm going to get out of here. Stay tuned for Health, Happiness, and Harmony Hour. Dr. Lewis B. is coming up next. Dr. Lewis Boynton. We'll follow that up with Bible with Bob from Bob Page. And then we'll head into the best sports life in business. 12 to 2. It's the Rob Peterson Show with Terrell DuPont today. Then we'll have the sports beat Richard Holdridge, and 3 to 5 Braves Country Radio. And then Rick Smith takes over at 5 p.m. No demons for me, laugh out loud, says Gail. I agree with that. Brother Darrell says, Randall says, radioactive, though, you never have to charge yourself. I thought about that. I just know we always learned in school growing up that St. John is the oldest English settlement and town in North America. When was the Plymouth Rock founded? St. John was founded in, 1620, he said. Well, all the Native Americans were here first, though, yeah. Hebrews 9:27 in the Bible says people are destined to die once and after that face judgment. I don't disagree with Martin says. And he's talking about Martin. Yes. Which Martin? Good show today, says Gail. Thank you, Gail. And thank you, Cher, as well, and all the wonderful people for joining us this morning. I hope I said hello to everybody that was on. I hope we didn't leave anybody out. People just joined us. Everything. We're getting ready to get out of here in about less than 5 minutes. And Daryl, so that's why I say the oldest English settlement, English defined, weren't the first here 100% as well. Have a good day, lovely people, says Randy. Daryl says we're still talking about, wow. So there you go. Martin says, but I want to know why using dollars for wall installation. Because they got the money to do it and we don't. Plus, money's not going to be relevant in a few years, right? It was a good show, even though I was late to the party. Yeah, Cher, you were late. We're going to have to write you up. Put you in solitary confinement for showing up late this morning. Plymouth Rock was 1620, says Martin. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for saying good show. Appreciate that. Everybody's on here, guys. Getting a lot of pop up. Good day. Keep your powder dry. What? Same thing as St. John's than if it was 1620, Martin. Could have changed names. You never know. Just never know what it is. Yeah, they're teaching different things in different countries, huh? I wonder why they would do that. Different versions of history. I wonder why they would do that. Wait a minute. I can't believe he's here. Dr. Lewis Boynton is in the house. DJ TJB is up in the house. TJB is here. He's going to be
back from his European tour.
Back from his European tour.
Extended.
I thought he was never going to show up again. All of you guys were concerned. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to go ahead and get out a little early so we can get him settled. Coming up, Health, Happiness, and Harmony. And it's the DJ B show. A lot of music for you. That's what we like to say. Oh, wow. I don't think we hit any of that. You too, Terry. Peace to you, brother. Thanks to everybody for being with us. Thanks to Sally Tul. Thank you guys for talking about roadside attractions and some of the best places to visit across the country. You know, that's always a good thing right there when people, when we learn from different areas, some of the most unique places to visit. And like I said, driving down Route 66 a few years ago, I got to see a lot of fantastic things. All right, until we meet again on tomorrow, you guys have a great day. Peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. See you guys on the flip side. All right, guys, we appreciate you. I got to stop this. I'm going to go ahead and stop you guys. We'll get back. We got a lot of things going on. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. See you guys tomorrow. Come on.